Hi, that's me. Yes, we're on Twitch. That's right. Yes, I am good. I have my weekly juice, which is wonderful. Got more of it over the weekend. I've got a Polestar behind me. Life is good, man. There's nothing really to complain about. And we already have some of the original normal crew, Steve and Doug. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. And Doug is already giving us some wonderful notes as Chad has no sound. I don't know. Cool. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We are going to basically talk about nothing once again this week, as we have the last 2 weeks. And quite frankly, they've been two of our best streams. So welcome to a car stream where we talk about nothing. But that's not actually true. We do have a couple of things we want to sort of chat about. One is Mustang news that has nothing to do with Chad's Mustang.
Yet.
Chad being the other guy on this stream, which is actually really cool.
Can you hear me, Chad?
Oh, can anyone hear Chad?
Hello, hello.
Anyone? Bueller.
Come on, Doug. I'm waiting on you.
Waiting on you, Doug. Yes. Oh, he says yes. We are good. But we do have a couple, one Mustang thing we do want to chat about, and then we're gonna basically chat with you guys about hilariousness, and yeah, not about me or anything merch-wise that has anything to do with me or anything. This week we're talking about Chad merch, which we don't have.
Which
We're
we
gonna
don't
do
have.
it.
But
It happened.
But
Be
yes,
great.
so to those of you who were here last week and those of you who bought the spring line, first of all, thank you.
Yes.
We still have stickers and coffee mugs up there as well to anyone who wants to, represent the Greg.
Yes. And if you're joining us and you don't know what we're talking about, basically what happened was Chad found an old picture of me from college and basically turned it into merch, and a bunch of you guys bought it, which was hilarious and really funny. And if you want to go see me being horrifically embarrassed because of it, then you definitely should go check out the merch. I think it's in the oh yeah, Stefan, what's up, man? Yeah. So in the description of wherever you're watching from, whether it be YouTube or Twitch or Facebook, there should be a merch link in there. And if you click it, you can go find merch of me. And it's embarrassing. So it's definitely something you should go look at. It's quite funny. And I think Chad just dropped it in chat to make it even easier for you. So yeah, go click on that link and check it out. It's
Amazing.
It's so bad, but it's so good.
It's just the best.
And we're going to do the Chad spring line next, which is just going to be fantastic.
Yes, but guys, I bring it up because that is a limited run. The Greg line will be expiring basically April 15th. So
Yeah.
if you want to rep the Greg, link in chat, link in the description.
Yeah. I don't even want to rep the Greg, quite frankly. But I am him.
I think you should. I think we need that. You need a Steve-O.
Oh, just the picture of me on my chest.
Exactly.
Yeah. No. hard pass. Stefan, I know my Carlisle attire this year. Funny you should say that because a bunch of people on stream are going to be wearing it at Carlisle, so you will see it regardless. I believe Doug's going to wear it. I think Steve's going to wear it. And I think Justin is also going to wear it. I forget who else said that they would, but yeah, a bunch of people are going to be at Carlisle and they will have it on. So yeah, it's just going to be great. It's going to be great. And I'm not going to cry. I promise. I'm not going to cry. It's going to be wonderful. Yeah. Awesome.
One time, folks might ask me to take my shirt off. Possibly.
Yep.
But hey, we have a viewer over on Twitch. Hello, viewer. Drop a comment. You're our first ever
think
Twitch
that's
viewer,
just me.
so hello. Oh, it's just Greg?
Oh, there is another one. Wow, we got two. It's me and someone else. Hello, Twitch. How's it going? Welcome to
Oh, God. Greg, we lost you. Can you guys hear Greg? Because I sure as hell can't. What just happened? Yes. Well, let's just look at Greg in silence while I figure this out. Okay, so. All right, well, audio issues. Yes. I'd just like to point out that Greg is now screwing up his own computer for a change. So while he's muted himself, this is fantastic. So, at any rate, guys, don't worry about it, Steve. We'll be here for some time. So enjoy. Go get your call. Get it done. Mom is more important than us. At least I think so. Doug is requesting sign language from Greg. I don't know. Greg actually might know sign language. Not 100% sure on that one. But, I have a message okay. Nothing of importance. I can hear you. Chat, can you hear Greg? Greg, speak. There he is.
Hi, I'm back.
Greg is...
I think my camera just messed up, that's all. So I unplugged and plugged it back in. As you should do with all good electronic devices. Unplug it and plug it back in.
It's like in a...
Or hit it profusely like an old CRT TV.
But while we're on the topic of...
I know a little bit of sign language, and it's basically nothing. I think this is please, and this is more, this is thank you, or like chin out is thank you. And I think that's all I remember from baby training.
But, speaking of merch, you may have noticed there's some new graphics on the screen. The official Shifting Lanes garage logo is here. So anyone who wants to grab some of that, link is in the description.
Yep.
Link is in chat in the description. Go grab you some of that. It took way longer than it should have, but life happens.
Yes. So we still have the old school SL logo in the middle, obviously with a red and white graphic, and then the circle graphic around it. Shifting Lanes Garage. Was really good. We worked with our buddy on it for graphic design. I think it looks really cool. So that's the new logo for this stream.
And the YouTube channel, and now the Twitch channel. Hello.
Yes,
I don't know why I keep... I have it over here, so I'm waving to nothing. Like
your camera. Focus on the camera.
Fair enough.
I like it.
So, Greg, how's the Polestar?
The Polestar is fine. I cannot get in touch with Hilton Tuning at all. I was while I'm talking, I'm actually gonna be looking on their Instagram and their Facebook page because I literally can't get in touch with Rob Hilton. I don't know where he's at. Usually he's like super attentive to me, and that's not saying like, oh, I'm a YouTuber or anything, but I'm just friends with him on Facebook, and I always send him messages, and he hasn't seen a message in like 3 weeks. So I'm wondering if he's like either on vacation or literally just not in the country. Like I don't even know. The last message I sent him, or the first message I sent him was March 6th. So it's been a while and I haven't heard from him. So not sure where he's at. If I can't get in touch with him, honestly, in the next couple of weeks, I may need to go with another tuning option. And the biggest thing of that is there's really two other places that I could think of in the Volvo sphere that I could kind of get it from. One is TDI Tuning, which is not really known very well outside of Volvo circles in the US. It's basically more of a UK thing, but it's basically a tuning box. You basically just take the box, wire it in, and it actually does stuff to the car pre-ECU. So it actually doesn't make any functional changes to the ECU itself. It changes everything before the ECU. So it's like one of those traceless things. And it actually does work. There's testing on it. A lot of guys in the Polestar community have run it. With any tuning solution, it's been hit or miss. But for the most part, most people have used it and liked it. And a guy we know in Texas that works with Rich Forsyth, who helped us out with all the C30s, Kevin, he ran a TDI box for a while and it was flawless. So that's probably the solution I would go with. The other solution is Vast Tuning, which I'm not sure if they have P3 tuning capabilities. I'd have to reach out, but they're very well known in the red block and I think white block, but mostly red block communities. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. If I can't get in touch with Hilton, not sure what's going to happen. But the TDI box does claim, and I have it actually here on my phone. The TDI box for this car, it's only $415, which compared to a Hilton tune is basically a third the price. But the big claim is 346 horsepower to 405 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque to 446. Now that's at the crank. I dynoed this car, for those that don't know and are watching, at 315 and 395 at the wheels stock with no tune, no downpipe, no nothing. So if I do go this route, I would imagine this thing will be pushing close to 500 torque at the crank, which is absurd. So we'll see what happens. And then after that, probably the next week or two, the summers are going back on and I'm putting the carbon fiber side skirts on. So that's really what's up with the Polestar. Nothing crazy, but the tuning is not exactly, I don't know. It's not exactly there right now, but we'll figure it out. What is going on with the Mustang, Chad? You have it back.
Yes,
right?
We've been driving it, and I'm getting.
How has it been driving?
Been driving pretty good. I have a mild concern that we're a little on the rich side of.
Okay.
Rich side of things. So I gotta go see the boys over at Blue Sky and get them to just do a quick health check on it. It was something we had planned anyway, so it's not the end of the world.
Cool.
So, but yeah, it's I mean, my AFRs in the on the digital readout are pretty good, right around 14 where it needs to be, but I don't know if it caps at 14. So like it'll go 14 something and then and it just stay there. Like it won't adjust above that anymore. So I have to
right. Well, figure it out.
Yeah, I gotta
they will know.
If there's anybody who will know, it'll be them. But it could just be, hey, you're running 10, 11 pounds of boost. This is something you now deal with. So,
yeah.
So
welcome to having a turbo car, but now it's not a turbo car; it's a supercharged car.
Yes. So
running rich, forced induction. It's almost like they go hand in hand.
Right. So that's exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's all stuff we kind of had we figured might happen, but we'll get it figured out because, like I said, it's. Smells great, but yet somehow I did a quick local drive with it over the course of the weekend, actually twice, and I was getting 16, 17 miles per gallon, which is...
For a 700 wheel horsepower Mustang, that's pretty damn good, gotta be honest. And that's just combined around town?
That's just, that's going... doing like a little, like I think I drove like 30, 40 miles, no real highway stuff.
Okay.
So it was.
I mean, that's not bad. I do about 17 to 19, and my car has less than half the power.
Yes, it does.
Cool.
But I mean,
Cool.
I
Great.
mean, I haven't.
Thanks, Volvo. Awesome.
I haven't really gotten into the upper ranges of boost yet, just because I've still been a little gun shy about.
Well, it's almost like it's still winter and you don't have winter tires, so it's almost like you're being cautious because you should be.
Yes.
So good job.
And yeah, pretty much. I mean, as much
Yeah.
as I would like to, say, it's just I haven't had the opportunity to. It's more or less been, it's been me being smart, more so than more usual.
Yeah.
I mean, let me put it to you this way: at like 4,000 RPM, I'm making similar power to what I was NA. So
That's ridiculous.
I have a smidge room to play with now. So that's
Just a smidge.
so it's. But like I said, it's eventually, I can feel that. The other day I went out, and you could feel that there was a little more grip than there has been.
That's good.
So yeah, no, I'm excited. For obvious reason.
Good.
Thanks,
Well,
Doug.
let's go to chat real quick because we have we have a special guest. We have Steve's girlfriend joining us. Thank you. Thanks, Doug, for the stars. Appreciate it. You legend, as always. And hello to Steve's girlfriend.
Hello, Mrs. Steve.
Thanks for joining. Hello, Mrs. Steve. Thank you for joining.
And Steve comments 700 horsepower and getting 17 miles per gallon, and I get all 11 mpg with the stock inline 6.
Yeah, because you drive a flying brick from like the 1980s. Of course you do. I'm not surprised by that in the slightest.
But then to Doug's comment with his generous donation for Chad's new bumper cover when it drives off the road leaving cars and coffee. I mean,
I think Chad will be the only Mustang owner in history not to try a burnout after cars and coffee.
Exactly. One and two. Little does Doug know. I already have plans to replace the bumper. The bumper is actually already damaged. It was damaged by the previous owner, and then glued back on because apparently the way the Mustang bumpers clip in and everything like that, they break very easily, even if you're not like an idiot. So the cool thing about they've already broken and glued in. So when Jeff and I he was like, so we're just going to put this back together. Just so you know, we're gluing it back together. And they just got to break through that if you ever need to get the bumper off. And I go, well, hopefully the next time you have to take this bumper off, or more specifically, Jesse, the body guy at Blue Sky, takes this off, it'll be to be replaced with something much, much cooler, which is, may or may not look like a GT500. But that's quite a ways away because that's
It's going to look like something, and you're not going to know what it is. But its initials are GT500.
Pretty much. I'm basically the premise now being that eventually it will be a manual 500. Christian went through all winter on summer tires. Technically, so did I. Although the Mustang was in the shop for most of it, so.
Yeah. Steve, correction, Gregson, 1999. Well, I mean, let's be honest. When was that R&D'd? I believe it was R&D'd probably in the 80s at some point. Jeep is not we're going to R&D something and then get it out in the next 2 or 3 years. So look, 11 mpg for a Jeep is about average for a 90s Jeep, quite frankly. So, yeah. I mean, that's fine. That's fine.
And those aren't those are not economical engines in the slightest.
They're not. I don't think there's a single Jeep engine that's really economical.
The Pentastar V6.
Yeah, I mean, some of them now are getting better, but like I think the diesels are pretty good. But even still, Christian, what's up, man? Thanks for joining. Appreciate it as always. No, I know the Grand Cherokee came out before, but it takes like 7 to 8 years for a company to like actually get things out to market. So Jeep probably started the R&D for the Grand Cherokee in the late 80s. At least your generation of the Grand Cherokee in the late 80s. There was a great article a bunch of years ago in Car and Driver, 2015, 2016, 2017, that range, where they actually gave you a breakdown of like what it takes to bring a car to market. And it's about 7 years. And then you're talking, that's like everything. That's total soup to nuts, from like an idea of a car to actual production model on the showroom floor. Production of the car itself takes like a year or two. Modeling takes a year or two. Ideating takes a year or two. Mechanical agreement. It's just like all these things that go into it. So like so many things go into it. It is like a 7 to 8 year process. I think it's some efficiencies have brought it down to a little bit less more recently, just because with a lot of these, and we've talked about it a lot on stream, these companies that use like the skateboard platform and just economies of scale, like with Volkswagen, you don't really need to take 7 years to create a new Passat, Golf, Audi A3, blah, 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 because it uses a lot of the same underpinnings. So it's not the same as it was back in the day, in the 80s, 90s, even 2000s. But today, there's definitely a lot more efficiencies to make it probably like a 5 to 6 year plan as opposed to a 7 to 8 year thing. But don't get it twisted. It takes a long time for car companies to bring things to market, especially when you consider consider concept cars, and when you first see them, and then models that are based on those concepts come out. NSX and Toyota Supra, totally independent of those, because those took forever. But LFA is a good example. LFA came out as a concept. Oh man, I don't even remember. But it took a solid, 5-6 years for the LFA itself to come out based on the concept that was shown.
Another terrible example of that, because they designed the whole thing in aluminum and then did it again in carbon fiber.
Well, yeah, true. That's true. But when you see a concept of, of something, Kia Stinger actually is a good example of that. They created a concept that was a 2-door concept, and they actually ended up scrapping it and going to a 4-door sedan. But again, that was a probably 6-7 year gap between when we saw that and the Stinger actually came, like a Stinger actually came out of market. So it does take a long time for these companies. And it's that thing like, oh man, why can't they just produce it? It's like there are so many people behind the scenes at these companies trying to make it work or make it work in their way that they just don't. It's literally all of the cars that we love have been formed by committees and multiple different committees, and that's just the way it is. That's the way it happens. Small batch stuff is a lot better. Mustang has its own group that does a lot of it, so they don't really go through the normal Ford process of like everything. Like a Fusion is brought to market very differently than a Mustang, or an Escape is brought to market very differently than a Mustang. So that's all.
Yeah, and even you saw, like, if you ever watched the Netflix series where they building a faster pony, you saw how many years it took to get to the S550 chassis. It takes a while, because it's one thing to design a car, then it's a concept, because a concept doesn't have to adhere to anything. It could be like, hey, look, and then you have to make, like, the FT1 to Supra is a great example of this. The FT1 was brilliant, looked beautiful. If that was the next Supra, people would have, like, there would have been a pants shortage for automotive enthusiasts. Like,
Yes, that is very accurate.
and then that now you have to drape that and make it safe. So the headlights have to be a certain height. Take out of the equation for a second that it had to be draped over the chassis of a Z4, and you have the hard points of where the doors are, where the suspension is, or the engine has to sit, like all of that. Take that out of the equation. You still have to make it. You still have to make it in such a way that it meets a global standard, right? Like you don't come out with the Supra and only have it for the European market or the American market,
Right.
or the Japanese domestic market. Like you have to make it adhere to all of these things. So you might have one that's legal in America. You have to make a tweak for Europe. Then you have to make a tweak to make it legal in Japan. Like all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And it takes forever because once you do all of that, now the designers have to go back and sort of redesign the exterior of the car to make it look the way the vision is. And that's before you started testing powertrains. That's it, let alone if God forbid you're bringing a new engine to market. That engine's probably going to take 4 or 5 years to get fully developed. Probably with just where we're at combustion wise, probably not so much anymore. But even GM's working on a new small block. Thank God. To whoever our LS enthusiast is. So it's just there's.
I believe it's Christian and I want to say Steve, and I think Justin is the Coyote guy, or maybe I have that totally. I completely forget. My brain is mush from the last 4 weeks. I don't remember anything.
Steve only likes half of LS's. But
that's right.
Like all of that goes into and then not for nothing. So there's certain stuff like Corvette will always kind of have a free reign to do what they want. Mustang will have certain freedoms to do what they want because they've already proven that, hey, we know what we're doing. People will buy this. If you stray too far for the ethos of what a Mustang is, or I can't even say what a Corvette is because really they've stripped it all the way back to America's sports car and nothing else.
Yeah.
But trust in the engineers and they'll give you something. And then obviously it has to meet a price point, right? So it's not like, hey, the best Mustang we could possibly do is a carbon fiber tubbed front engine, twin turbocharged V8 that, obviously that won't fly as a Mustang, or at least the base Mustang, or the one people, because you're now in supercar territory, and the appeal of a Mustang is you can get crazy, stupid horsepower for half, a quarter, So
yeah, pretty much.
And then you have idiots like me who then throw a lot into it.
Here, engine, have some air.
Have more air.
have more air than you rightfully should. Also, give me power.
And that's pretty much it.
Yep, that's basically how it goes. But interesting you mentioned about the internal combustion stuff. They just actually announced overseas. I know that the EU has been sort of one of the big driving forces with the banning of internal combustion cars and really pushing EVs or zero emissions vehicles or carbon neutral vehicles, if you will. Turns out, I just saw today, Germany just combined with 7 other countries. I think Czech Republic is one of them. I forget the whole list, but they basically are rejecting the ban on ICE cars in 2035. It's on Motor One. If you guys want to go look it up. Do search Motor One, so motor1.com, Germany ICE ban, and it should pop up one of the first things. But they basically are saying no, this is not right. This shouldn't be happening. The countries are now starting to push back on the EU, which is very interesting. For a lot of what happens over there in that part of the world, they usually go with what the EU says. It's a governing body. They just adhere to a lot of the rules. The UK was like, no, we don't want to do that anymore, and self-booted themselves from the EU. But on this one, it looks like the company or the countries that are very like car focused, Germany especially being one of them, is like, well, no, this just isn't going to work. And I think it mostly has to do with like the time frame. I think they need to like really think about like, okay, is this going to work by 2035? Which, I've been preaching it, since day one on this. 2035 is not a realistic target. 2055 is a realistic target. That is a realistic target for an ICE ban because, like I said just earlier on this stream, you have 7 to 8 years to bring a new car to market. Double that for an EV that's actually going to make sense. Triple that for an EV that's going to make sense in a real world application that people can actually buy, that's affordable from right now, that's affordable and can actually be a decent commuter car. And there are EVs out there that will be decent commuter cars and are. Polestar 2 is really good. Even the Nissan Leaf is good if you don't go very far and you just need a commuter car. But quite frankly, there are so many more ICE cars and a lot of countries that just don't have the infrastructure on EVs. Quite frankly, the US does. The US has one of the more advanced EV networks in the entire world. If you're talking from a large country perspective, if you talk about the EU as a whole, not even close. Certain countries are much better than others. These are obviously doing well at that, but no one drives in the city. So they need to really like get it into more of the sprawling areas. And the US is actually one of the countries that does it sort of the best because Tesla's here and Tesla's building up their supercharger network. Like I'm with them. Like we shouldn't be banning the cars. We should be trying to figure out how to make them carbon neutral. And again, keep harping on this. Synthetic fuels is the answer, or hydrogen. EVs are not the answer. EVs are just going to tax the grid more. EVs are just going to create a complete separate thing. Like EVs are cool. They're a really cool technology, but are the EVs making this like, is it over? No, it's not over. And everyone that's saying it is just wrong and they just don't get it. So, it's to end this rant. Interesting article. Will be interesting to see how these countries push back. I suspect that whatever administration happens in 2024 here in the US or 2028, obviously if the Democrats or Biden win again in 2024, then there's another 4 years, or 2028 there's a regime change, whatever. It doesn't matter your political thing. That's just like what's going to happen potentially. Something's going to give because then we're inching closer to these deadlines that are throughout the world / here in the US, and you're going to have pushback obviously from either side, especially with more of like the flyover states that don't have that EV infrastructure and don't have a real world application for those cars. On the coasts, there is a real world application because everything's smashed together in California and New York and New Jersey and along the coast along the East Coast. So it'll be interesting to see how the US kind of pushes back about it as well. But the EU is already starting to push back, and that's actually very surprising to me. Or the countries within the EU, I should say.
I think it's just another case of reality has to sink in at some point, right? Think about us and trying to figure out how to electrify the middle of Kansas and downtown Manhattan, right? And not have it affect the end user in the sense that, just look at where there's no population, infrastructure is not as robust, but where there's too much population, right, the risk of overloading it becomes way too high. So imagine your typical like brownstone, right? And you have 10 of them lined up and there are 10 floors each. That's an insane amount of humanity crammed into like basically a half acre, you know?
Yeah.
And if they're all charging their car at the same time, they just don't have the real estate for solar if they wanted to try to alleviate some of the grid. That's just a drop
Yeah,
in the
no.
bucket. So how do you electrify a major city? And then on the flip side, how do you go somewhere where your neighbor's 10 miles away, right? I mean, the grid there is set up for a certain amount of draw. And
Right.
and everything pretty much in between. Like the only places it really makes sense now is in areas like where we live, where it's not crazy dense, but it's not crazy remote, and you have a decent network. Uh, but I mean, let's face it, like California wants to fly the flag for electric cars, and they can't even keep their own lights on without electric cars. Like,
Right.
let's
Well,
let's
that's
let's
that's a problem California's had since the beginning of
right.
time.
So
They don't have the structure to support something like that. But because they're very progressive, they are, as a state, mostly they are very sort of in tune with that. It has to be this way mentality, and that's all well and good for certain things. That's fine. That's their prerogative. But on cars, it's just incorrect, and it's not the correct way to do things.
no, and I mean, if again, it's like one of those things. If you're, it was to me. There's a lot of parallels to to electric cars, to when everybody was like suckling at the teat of ethanol, right?
Hmm.
And that ethanol was this future fuel. It was going to save internal combustion. It was going to, replace gasoline and
Yeah.
everything like that. But then people started to figure out, wait a minute, we're literally taking food off of the table, whether it be for human consumption or stuff that humans eventually eat, right?
Hmm.
To make fuel, it just doesn't make sense. And
Yeah.
ethanol is great. Don't get me wrong. It's just to make it at the volume you would need to make it is detrimental to, I don't know, the lack of starvation. So it's an interesting case study. I part of me does actually understand. Um, Part of me does actually understand that the push for it, but it's kind of like pushing for everyone to use the first generation of a smartphone or the first generation of like, hey, everybody, you have to use this. It's more expensive. It's sure it offers you a lot of different features and everything, but like the first when you start to get something right is not when you go wholesale adoption. It's when you start to get something right that's affordable and makes sense is when you go through. So,
Yeah.
but just to
Yeah.
touch on a few things from chat. We have Steve, more synthetic fuel, just like Greg mentioned. Doug makes an interesting point because no ban ever. Just make electric cars to the point where people won't want internal combustion engines. It's not that hard. We're already close. Right. I mean, I think if I don't think the government should be mandating electric vehicles by X date. They should be mandating themselves to have a certain network expansion in place by this date or annually or what have you. Like,
Yeah.
think about how to get the juice first before you start making everybody require it. You know,
Yeah. Speaking of juice, keep talking to Chad. I'll be right back.
and then we have Steve who doesn't care for EV. Fair enough. I mean, right now it's not a requirement, so you don't necessarily have to care for it, so to speak. Um, and like I said, it's not for everyone. It makes sense for a lot of people, just not everyone, and not the majority of the population yet. Uh, Brett just wants an EV Ram. I mean, look, Ford, Chevy, GM, or I'm sorry, Ford, GM, Ram, they're not dumb. They know where their bread is buttered, and that's half-ton pickup trucks. So if they're going to have to do electric, there's going to be an electric half-ton. You want to talk about stuff that's not quite there yet? Like it is a pickup truck that if you use it for transportation, you're good. If you use it as a pickup truck, your range suffers mightily, which is the dirty little secret. It's I think like it has to do with how much energy a battery can store versus how much energy is in gasoline in a gas tank, and EVs don't have nearly as much potential energy there. Let's see here. Christian has a thing for Greg. We'll wait for that until Greg gets back. Doug goes, it's a lot like when gas cars first came out and everyone wanted to keep their horses. Similar arguments. Yes, it is. However, it is a similar argument, but it would be like if the government, after decades, almost a century of using horses, the government said, you can't use a horse anymore. You have to use the automobile, as opposed to your previous point where the cars just became better than a horse. So I don't know if you were piggybacking on that, but in a vacuum. But yeah, I think the onus should be on making it feasible from a day-to-day perspective. It's like the line from Jurassic Park. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. So like just because we can produce all of these electric vehicles doesn't necessarily mean that they should be the market share, so to speak. So and Greg is back.
Christian, I saw your comments about investing. I'm sorry. Disclaimer: shifting lanes is not responsible for your money. But I would say that I'm still bullish on Polestar and Rivian becoming bigger companies. Quite frankly, the best way to invest is to buy something and then forget it exists for 20 years, then come back and look at it. That's the best way to invest, because if you like constantly look at it or try to figure out what the market's doing, you're going to lose money. What I do, and this is my only financial thing that I will ever say is what I do, is I do what's called dollar cost averaging. I think it's called dollar cost averaging, but it's something cost averaging, where it's basically you take a certain amount of money and you invest that each week or each month. So say $100. You take that, you invest it every paycheck, and you buy $100 of a certain stock, and you just do that constantly. Because what happens is with the price fluctuations, dollar cost averaging basically allows you to buy the same stock at different points. And as we know, with most stocks in the stock market and crypto or whatever you're into, it usually follows a linear path upwards. So with you buying the stock at different points on that linear path, you're basically going to trace that linear path upwards. So I do, I don't know, I think I do like $60 every paycheck, where I buy like $30 of Bitcoin and $30 of a stock, and I forget which stock it was because I did it like 2 years ago, and I need to go check on it. But like that's what I do. Like I'll do that. I'll pick something and I'll do that, and I'll just not even look at it for like 2 years, because you know you have so many fluctuations that it's not even worth looking at daily, monthly, even quarterly, quite frankly, unless something is going completely nuts, like how Bitcoin went from like, what was that one crazy thing? It went from like 10,000 to 69,000 in like the span of a year, or I think it was like 3,000 to 69,000 because of the pandemic. Like, pay attention then. That's when you should be paying attention. Otherwise, unless it's like insane, crazy things that are doing like that, like don't pay attention. The best way to invest is set a goal, do it, and then forget about it for a while. And then check on it every year or two. It's literally it. Because the stock market is basically just gambling. That's all it is. You're putting money out in hopes of making more of it with that same money. That's what gambling is. So, you know, I think that's my only financial advice I'll ever do on this stream is do dollar cost averaging. And if you're going to invest in something, just don't even worry about it. But like, if you've invested in Polestar and Rivian, I say, cool. I would I'll probably do that within the next couple of months. You got to remember, like, Facebook is a really good stock. It started at like $30 and tanked to like 20 within the first month. And everyone's like, oh, Facebook's going to be terrible. And now it's like $100, $200 per stock. So you can't just be like, oh yeah, it's always going to be this way. So just keep it and forget it. And Polestar and Rivian may in the next couple of years, and your investment is very good. So just forget it and don't think of it any more than gambling money. You know, you go into a casino with, you know, $200-300. That's your set limit. Do that. You go on the stock market. You want to buy $200-300. That's your set limit. Do that. Forget about it. That's your fun money. And then just don't look at it for a while. The end. That's it. But I'm still bullish on Polestar and Rivian. I think they are good companies, and I think that they will figure it out. Specifically Polestar, because it has the backing of Volvo and Geely and much larger companies that have a huge vested interest in that company succeeding. Rivian, you know, obviously a more independent company that you know, is right now, but I think that they have a good foundation because they're doing it slowly and correctly. They're not trying to rush things to market, and from what I've heard, most of the product that they're producing is very high quality. It's not like crazy luxury, and obviously the price point is very high luxury at this point, but the quality is pretty good. So that's where I am with that. The end.
Shifting Lanes claims no responsibility. You should seek the professional. You should seek the advice of a financial professional before investing any and all of your money.
100% correct. Yes, and that's why I have a CPA and a CFA. He's the same guy, and he helps. And he helps Shifting Lanes do their taxes, which is quite lovely.
Yes.
Couple other things from chat. Over on the YouTube side. Andrew, what's up, Andrew? Thanks for joining as always. In April, are you going to the FCP Euro car show and meet in Connecticut? Yes, I will be there on the 23rd. Very cool because it's Volvo and Saab themed. So we will be getting to park on the track at Lime Rock, which is honestly a dream come true of mine because I've never been able to drive my car onto a racetrack before. I've never done a track day actually in any of my cars, but to be able to drive up there and park on the track for a car show, very cool. Like, that's awesome. And then also over on YouTube, Andrew Pastorelli, fellow Polestar owner. Welcome, Andrew. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it, man. Has a question. Fellow S60 Polestar here, never got to test drive a 6-cylinder version. I have a 2017 4-cylinder version. When you were shopping, did you drive both? The answer is no. It was always the 6-cylinder because I have the 4-banger in my wife's XC90. So that car actually is quite good. The engine's good. The Drive-E twin charge is a cool engine. Very nice bit of technology there. But be honest, it's the sound. And it's not as good a performing engine out of the box. I think the 4-cylinder is a little quicker. I think it's like a 0.2 second difference, 0 to 60. And I think roughly the same quarter mile. I think the 4-cylinder is a little faster in the quarter mile, but quite frankly, it's the noise. The 4-cylinder, while a cool engine, sounds a bit tinny. And it's very rev hangy. It's a little odd sounding to me. And the same thing happens in my wife's car, but this is so good. And I would not trade the 6-cylinder for a 4-cylinder literally ever. So the 4-cylinder wasn't even in the cards. I was always looking for a 6-cylinder when it came to that.
Continue, Gregson.
To continue on that thought, Doug says the 4-banger has a better transmission. That is 100% correct because this car has a 6-speed ASIN transmission, which is okay. That's the best thing you can say about it. It's okay. It's quick enough, but you know, it's a standard 6-speed transmission, torque converter automatic. Like, there's nothing really special about it. There's nothing really special about the 8-speed either in the newer ones. However, it's just a better transmission. The shifts are faster. The shift programming is just better. It has, you know, just the more speeds allow you for more ratios essentially to help you with a little bit more of performance. to get out of the 4-cylinder and the twin charging. So it's sort of a trade-off. I mean, for me, it's the sound. I wanted the noise and the more visceralness of the car. Plus, this is way rarer. They made, I want to say, close to 3,000 4-cylinders in the P3s for the rest of the world. In the US, this for the model year 2016 is a 1 of 165 V60. I believe they made 80 of them in 2015. And I don't know if it's 80 for the S60 and V60 or if it's 80 total between the two. I forget. Doug might be able to answer me with that one. But the rarity of this also attracted me to it because it's a more interesting car because of that. The 6-cylinder in this is also transversely mounted, which is super odd. It's an inline 6 going this way. Very strange. It's John Cena ink. Can't see me. It's not inline. And while inline 6s that are, with that, that's cool. But transverse mounted inline 6 is just strange. And that's cool to me. Like, I don't think I could ever own a car that I don't find interesting. And that's always personal opinion. But like for Jesse, what's up? Thank you for joining and thank you for the stars, man. Appreciate the donation as always. Thank you for joining and listening in over on Facebook. For me, I can't own a car that's not interesting. And again, like I said, totally down to personal opinion. So for example, me, like a Hellcat's interesting, even though they're sort of common and, a lot of people have them and there's a ton of content out there on them. But like you put a 700, 800 horsepower engine in a commuter car / muscle car, and that's just interesting to me. Like Chad's Mustang GT as a base car is not really that interesting. But when he supercharged it, that makes it interesting to me. If I were to own a Mustang, that's the route I would go. Conversely, the GT 350, I would have over a GT 500. It's just a more interesting car to me than it would be to someone else. The GT 500 is way more special, but the GT 350 is just a more interesting car to me. If I'm shopping for a sports car, if I'm shopping between like a Cayman or a Lotus Evora / new Emira, I'd probably go towards the Lotus because while the Porsche is a really amazing car and unbelievably, perfect in technology, the Lotus to me just would have more character. And even though it's built in a shed in Great Britain, not really, but it's just a more interesting car to me. So that's the reason, like most of the reasons why I got this. The 6-cylinder was just more interesting. It sounded better. It still performs amazing. Looks cool. It's basically the same car. And yeah, that's really it. Plus, it was mostly the engine note. It sounds utterly fantastic. And I was very, very surprised with how good it did sound. I was looking at videos online when I was trying to get sort of a sense for what it sounded like. There was a great video. Steve, thank you for the 100 stars. Appreciate it. I'm going to get to all of these star comments in just a minute once I finish the story. But once I was actually looking for this car, it's hard to find good sound clips. And there was one sound clip of this car at Spa, like Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. And it was just a bone stock one of these things going all out. And man, it sounded phenomenal. I'm like, this thing is like this from Volvo stock? Man, I gotta have this. So it is just super awesome. So yeah. Great question. Thank you so much for the question, Andrew. Really good. He responded to that. I can forgive the sound difference for the 8-speed, but my biggest gripe is electronic steering feel. I want to see the difference at some point. The steering feel on this is decent. I mean, it's not any better or any worse than any car that's comparable to this. You can stiffen it up or make it lighter in this car. So I think Doug, again, since you probably know better than I do, is this hydraulic or electronic? Because I thought it was electronic from this on. I don't think this is hydraulic because I can actually tweak the lightness level of my of my steering heaviness, if you will. So I'm not sure if that's the same. It might be the same between both of them. Andrew also says Andrew Pastorelli also says also disappointed in the Brembo pads. Glazed them in the first 2 weeks, bombing back roads. Yeah, I mean the brakes are good, but these are not track brakes. There's a good upgrade called Rotora. I think it's Rotora or something like that. Check the Facebook group for Polestar owners. A bunch of people have done the upgrade, and they swear by it. They say it's really, really good. Inline 6 is hydraulic, from what I understand. Interesting. I don't think so. I think this is electronic, honestly, because with hydraulic you can't change the steering feel usually within the center console. I can change the steering feel on mine to be lighter or heavier. I always do it at max heaviness because it gives me the best feedback. But light on this thing feels light. Like I can drive it with one finger. On heavy, I can't. I need at least like one hand to do it. And it's not like a crazy thing. But it's enough to, you can kind of feel the difference. And it's a significant enough difference that you would notice. So with that said, let's move on to the next thing. Chad, have you returned? If you haven't, that's all good. I'm going to get to some of these star comments that you guys have sent. Doug had said for financial advice on spending too much money on cars. Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Jesse with the 300 stars. Thank you so much. Hello. And Steve farted. So the star comments never get not funny. It's always funny with you guys. I appreciate it. Let's see. If anyone is upgrading their Polestar P3 brakes, I'll gladly take them off your hands. Mark, if I end up upgrading these at any point in time, they are yours. You have right of first refusal for sure. Justin, because I feel left out. So here's my contribution. Thank you for the 100 stars, as always, you guys. Justin and the rest of you guys are legends. Thank you so much. It's always funny. It is always funny. So with that said, man, there's a lot of comments going on both of these channels today. You guys are amazing. And we're on Twitch. And it looks like there's a couple of people watching from Twitch. So hello, Twitch. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Let's see here. We have DC, which is another Andrew. Mine has a 4-speed General Motors transmission. He's an older S80 with a later version, updated, better version of the older 4-speed General Motors transmission that had all the problems. Yeah, the older P2 stuff definitely did not have great transmissions. The AW55 was okay, but then the TF80, which I believe is the same transmission that's in this, the TF80, that was from the late P2s into this. Obviously, like very, very upgraded, but it's an Aisin 6-speed. I think it's the Aisin TF80, which was carried over from P2 into the P3s. Because I know later model Rs had the TF80 in them. I'm sure it's an updated version, but I believe it might be the same transmission. Please chat, correct me if I'm wrong there. Andrew, yes, Rotora is on the list. Just ordered KWV3s, so got to wait before ordering more parts. Yeah, you definitely. So Mark confirmed TF80 SC is in our cars. So I don't know if it's a TF80. I don't think it's a TF80 SC in the old Rs. I think it's basically just the base TF80. I think the SC is just an updated version of it. But yeah, essentially like the similar transmission you'd get in an R from like the P2 generation. You have them in these. Where's Chad? Where did he go? Oh, Chad messaged me. He has to walk his dog. That's awesome. Yeah, I do want to do more to this car, but it takes budget, and that unfortunately is something I don't have a lot of right now to do with this car. I have two 245 builds, which I don't know what's going on with those at the current moment. I got to figure out some financials. I need to figure out my taxes next week and the week after that. And once those are sort of submitted and I know what's going on with taxes, then we can sort of like plow full steam ahead with either of those things. I'm finally getting a quote from the West Coast build to see exactly what it's going to cost, but it seems like it's going to be a lot more involved than I previously anticipated. So I need to sort of like really take a step back and figure out if that build is even going to happen at all. Because I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I was basically scammed out of money, unfortunately, with that build. So I need to gather more information, and then I will make a full YouTube video where you guys can watch, and I can give you all of the information needed for the West Coast build, if it's even happening at all. So yeah, let's get back to comments. Justin felt left out. Thank you again for the stars. Save the suspension and active exhaust. Yes, the active exhaust on this is really was honestly one of the selling points for me, because if I were to start the car right now, both my kids are asleep. Literally one of them is asleep right there. It's my garage is like a vaulted garage, so I'm doing like a little like safety from the NFL, but it's right next to the garage is the second floor of my kid's room. So you can hear the garage doors going up and down in his room very easily. If I were to do this with the baffles open, he would wake up. So the fact that this thing has a baffled exhaust was a huge selling point for me. So I could have one children asleep mode and also two nice neighbor modes. So I'm not just constantly blasting around my neighborhood with a ton of noise. Waking up the neighbors or their kids, because there's a lot of young kids and young couples in this neighborhood too. Let's see. Looked up parts. Doug looked up parts. My 2012 T6 has an electronic over hydro pump for power steering. So, hydro over electric. Darn whiskey. Yes. No. Then he goes back on it again. No, I was right. First time. Sorry. So it is electric. It is electrically assisted steering. So interesting. These are electric. It's not just hydro. So if you're looking for a 6-cylinder, you're not going to get different steering feel. That was to Anthony over on YouTube. Let's see. What else do we have? Mark, the pump for the hydro is electric and electronically controlled. There you go. So it is electronically assisted hydraulic steering. So that's why you can kind of fiddle with it a bit. That then makes the most sense. So it is hydraulic steering, however, it is electronically assisted, and that's why you can do the difference in steering feel. Nailed it. Got it. So I would imagine that the 2017 Plus also has that same setup. I don't think that they would have changed that for the P3 generation, especially in such a small production window. Back to work rewiring a Jeep door. Good luck, Mark. Christian, Portland. Let's see, where did it go? Portland probably got scammed. Yes, 100%. So yeah, I'll leave that for another day. I need to figure out more information about what's going on with that car, and then I'll give you guys a full update. Greg, get the Volvos back in New Jersey and have them worked on here. I feel bad that you got scammed. People suck, bud. Yeah, I agree. And let's get it straight here. The other one in Pennsylvania is by our buddy Aaron, who's been on stream. He's been a supporter in the past. Not scamming at all. He's awesome. If you need Volvo stuff, Aaron is your guy. He is someone that literally tracks everything on all forums throughout the country, always. He is fantastic and goes the extra mile for trying to find stuff to make Volvo people happy, because he's a Volvo person. I got scammed by the former builder of the West Coast build. His name was Nick. He owned a shop called Red Block Performance. It is now totally off Facebook. It is now totally gone. He is now off Facebook. Doesn't have a Facebook profile at all. And quite frankly, he scammed me and several others out of lots of money and parts which a lot of people don't know where they are. The guy that took over that build so far, and again, we're not sure if that's even going to come to fruition at all. His name is Jesse Wildman. He's a supporter of this stream. He's a supporter of the channel. He's one of the OGs that's watched us from when we got a V70R back in like 2007, and he's watched the channel ever since. And he started his own shop. And if you're out west in the Oregon area, you need to look up Wildman Swedecraft. He's a Volvo purist through and through. He's incredibly knowledgeable on white block engines, loves red block stuff, and can basically do whatever you need. So he is the guy to look for out west. Aaron can get you anything basically throughout the country, but if you need actual like maintenance done from a shop out west, Jesse's the guy to do it out there. So in a different stream or in a totally different YouTube video, I will explain what's going on. I don't have all the information yet, so until I get all that information and until I get my taxes done, which then leaves me to know what the hell my personal budget is for the rest of the year on cars, then I can sort of give you guys an update. So that'll probably come in like the first week of April or second week of April. That's really all I can say on the 245s as of right now. Especially the West Coast one. The West Coast one is sort of a big shit show at this point. Christian, let's see, Christian. Still don't have my engine 2 years later, and now every time I call, they give me some BS as to why they'll call back later. They never call. Got to go in and raise some hell. Yes, you do. As someone that has literally lived through that, you need to go there and you need to be like, where's my stuff? And if it's not done in whatever weeks, you have to take it back and bring it somewhere else. That is what you need to do. And I wish that Nick was out here, because that's what I would have done with the West Coast 245, quite frankly. Let's see. My Jeep door needs rewiring. What Jeep door doesn't? Let's see. Christian, if it'd help getting someone down there, I'll try to find it. I appreciate it, man. But no. We have it. We have the car and some of the parts for it. So it's not like it's gone. Jesse Wildman out west has it. So we're just trying to figure out if the car is worth basically doing now, because there's a lot more work to be done than I had thought, including literally just getting a whole parts list together, things that I had previously paid for that are not there. So yeah, it's a whole thing. I had a 2-hour-long conversation with the new builder the other day. So again, it's infancy to figure it out at this point. Getting a quote together is the next step, and then after that, then we'll sort of make a decision. I still win with the Javelin that's been at the shop since 2008. Yes, you do, Doug. I can't believe that still happened, but I know you talked about that several times on stream. You need to just go take that car back, quite frankly.
Are we talking about your 240s?
Yes, but also Doug has a Javelin that he's had with the builder since 2008, which really puts it into perspective.
I mean, at that point, is it even still your car?
Yeah, I mean, it's been over a decade. You just got to go there with a trailer and take it.
I mean, isn't it 9/10 of the law? Oh, my gosh.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sorry I left chat with Greg for so long. We had a minor spill here, and it took everything in my power to prevent it from shutting the stream off. So...
Oh, no. Was it a dog spill?
I can't blame it directly on the dog, but let's just say the dog was being a pain in my ass, and I missed the cup holder. So...
there you go. Well, hey, it happened. As a father to 2 young children, spills happen, and I deal with them every day, so no worries.
It's like, of anywhere could it have happened not next to, like, the probably close to $6,000 worth of computer gear I have?
Yeah, exactly. But no, it happened right there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're coyote swapping them, right? The 240s?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely coyote swapping. Also, no. But to that point, I think we should talk about the one piece of news that we do have, because it's really cool and also really mental. Because considering that you have a Mustang of this generation, it warrants talking about, because apparently someone all-wheel drive swapped a Mustang.
Yes,
Apparently.
they're in the process of it. And let me just drop this in. Actually, there we go. No production value garage. You guys are going to want to go check them out on YouTube, because that's the channel that's building this. And that is a manual 6-speed Mustang GT with all-wheel drive. This guy, apparently he's done all-wheel drive stuff before, but the short version of it is this has a TR6060 transmission, mated to a Dodge Charger all-wheel drive system, and then a lot of custom work. Is the
So they put let's not breeze past that. The sacrilege that just came out of your mouth is beyond Mustang fanboys' comprehension. They put a Dodge all-wheel drive system in a Mustang. Like,
well, when it's
that is enough to make every Mustang fanboy's head explode with rage.
it's just the transfer case. So
Doesn't matter. Dodge part on Mustang.
I mean, it
Bad.
gets better.
Have you seen the comments section of our Facebook posts? Holy crap.
And just to sprinkle some more, the front diff is Toyota.
So, yeah, this thing is an absolute conglomeration of hilarious parts from around the automotive sphere in a great way, quite frankly.
I mean,
I love it, but I'm just saying, like, most fanboys are just going to be like, this is sacrilege.
yeah, I mean, it's, let's face it, but here's the thing. If you drive an automatic Mustang, again, automatic, I know, but the 10 speeds are pretty strong, impressive, and really quick.
Yeah.
Guess what else has that 10 speed? A Camaro.
I was going to say.
Ford and Chevy came together to develop that transmission. It's the same 10 speed that they put in the trucks and everything like that. I mean, it's not the same, but it's the same basic architecture, just gearing and stuff is, I guess, different. I mean, with 10 speeds, you don't think you would need any different gearing, but whatever. Here's the thing, like, is it sacrilege to put a Dodge transfer case in a vehicle when, if you want one of the most robust rear ends in drag racing, is a Ford 9-inch, and they put that in Chevys, Dodges, everything. So it's along the same lines. You got to give the guy credit for making it work, right? I think it's, I mean, to Doug's point is, why would you want an all-wheel drive muscle car? I mean, one, because you can. I mean, that's pretty dang cool if you ask me. Number two, I mean,
it's interesting.
Throw power at it, man. I mean, just think of the all-wheel drive launches with this thing. And two, you could make a...
That's where my mind went.
And then two, modern unicorn. Just saying. You know. So all-wheel driving stuff is actually becoming more of a... is becoming a thing. Honda boys are starting to do it with CRV drivelines. Atessa for rear-wheel drive vehicles is a big-time option, especially if you want all-wheel drive for when you want it and rear-wheel drive for when you want that. Atessa is a great way to go. It's expensive, and it's pricey getting that stuff out of Japan, but it's arguably the best system, just because of how beautifully simple it is. You know, it's got a pump, And when pressure increases, you get the more pressure, the more power goes to the front wheels. And you can turn it off and you can tune it, and it's you just basically put a Tessa, 2 limited slip diffs on each end, and you have a crazy capable all-wheel drive system.
Yeah. I don't know. This is cool though. I like it. Again, going back to what I said before, I like things that are interesting. This is very interesting because of whatever you do to a Mustang, all-wheel drive swapping it was not on the list. Like I would not think that. Oh yeah, let's mod a Mustang. What should I do? Oh, let's give it all-wheel drive. Like that never would have crossed my mind in any universe. So I'm glad that someone's doing it because it's very interesting and it's something that I personally have never seen before. So I haven't heard of this until today, and Chad shared the link to the article earlier, and I know it's a YouTube channel that does this, so I'm literally going to go watch all of this build because this video apparently was posted by this YouTube channel, which is comparable to Shifting Lanes Garage on YouTube, right around 2,000 subscribers. But this video that you're seeing the screenshot of right now was posted a year ago, so they have a full year of videos on this after the fact of this video. So I'm excited to go kind of watch and see what the hell has happened to this thing.
Yeah, because I mean, if you go on his his YouTube channel and you like look at his videos, you know, custom spindle, and it all of a sudden pops up with CAD. Like, okay, and I just build it. Like, this guy is next level as like this guy's got to have some sort of engineering background, because it's, you don't just slap this together and have it work. It's impressive. It's impressive what this guy's doing, and I think you guys should. It's definitely worth going and checking it out.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's cool. That's one of those things that, again, interesting. Never would have thought of. Never would have thought of it. Never would have seen it. Big fan. 10 out of 10 would bang.
You know, and then like Chad says, it's better than the EV Charger.
Literally everything is. Also, over on YouTube, Nate Sam, what's up? Thanks for joining, man. Appreciate it. Good to see you on the stream.
Coyote swapping
and he says coyote swapping is the only right answer, which is going to anger everyone on Facebook.
Or at least just the LSists and LTists.
Yes. Not Justin.
So, yeah, I mean, if you're going to do a build, do it interesting, right? Like, we're sort of finding out that, like, you know, the boosted Mustang thing's been done, but, like, all-wheel drive, cool. What's his name? I mean, I don't condone it, but I forget the guy who put the Cummins in an S550.
Something
Chaplin, I think.
Chastain? Chaplin. Yeah, that was it.
And then you have guys like Adam LZ who did a Barra swapped. I think he did it to a GT350, which why not do it to an EcoBoost?
I don't remember.
But
yeah.
But like,
true.
That sort of stuff is cool because it's different, and you know, look, the formula for the S550 has been out for a minute. The formula for making it fast isn't exactly rocket surgery. So,
I love that phrase, by the way. Rocket surgery. It's so good.
So, like, I mean,
it's a favorite.
But, you know, it's an avenue. Like, now we have a 700 horsepower vehicle to go on, like, road trips. And, like, I like the idea of using that to do all the trips we talked about. Like, just randomly not car affiliated trips. Steve's cat still has gas.
Gotta love cat farts.
Disgusting.
Good old cat farts.
So it's like, I'm looking forward. Like, I am looking forward to getting the roof on the car, which I'm hoping happens soon. And then just driving it. You know, like the next big phase of this thing is bodywork, and it's gonna cost me again.
Yeah.
You know, all in, it might have been cheaper to get a GT 500. No, it'd still be all in. This will still be about 10 to 20 grand cheaper than like the cheapest 500, let alone the ones you see going for like 120, 130.
Yeah.
You know, and it's all the Taco Bell from last week, Steve.
That's right. Oh, man. What's up, Hunter? Thanks for joining, man. Good to see you, bud. Doug, on the moon, nerds get their pants pulled down and they are spanked with moon rocks. Is that an Aqua Teen Hunger Force reference? That would be fantastic if it was. Chad doesn't know anything I'm saying right now. Yeah.
Nope.
The old Cartoon Network Adult Swim show that was like on when like Family Guy was on.
I know
like,
the show.
Robot Chicken.
I know the show.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Wasn't from.
They had the moon. They had the Mooninites, which is those two little triangle or weird shaped pieces. It certainly is. Yes. Did we just become best friends?
You weren't.
Yes. Yes.
You weren't already. It's a little harsh.
Yeah. Yeah. He has a shirt with my face on it. We are best friends, whether he likes to know.
Now
or
we need
not.
now we need to you odd. Coming next stream, Greg wearing a T-shirt with Doug's face on it.
Oh, that's the next thing. So we're gonna get the Chad line out, and then we're gonna scour all of your Facebook pages, pull down embarrassing things, and then we are going to wear chat. That's how that's how this is gonna work from now on.
And then Greg's gonna wrap the Polestar with all of Chat's faces.
Oh God!
Supporter.
No, apparently, according to chat, we're gonna wrap the Polestar in. You're making me yawn. Damn it. We're gonna wrap the Polestar in my face, apparently, which never is going to happen unless it's a prank and it gets us millions of Facebook views or millions of YouTube views. In which case, I'm okay with it. Just don't let me know when it's happening.
I don't know, man. Tavares putting his face on a car worked. I think you should just take the leap.
Yeah, but he didn't do it in like a camo multiple face sort of thing.
Oh, that's for when you put new bodywork on the car. That's your camo wrap. Oh, we should sell it to F1.
It's just my face is the camo. Oh, it's so stupid. Oh, Yuck City.
Yes, that has to happen. What's Total Wolf doing right now?
Oh, please
hit him up.
Oh, man. Amazing.
Oh, Doug is excited. Oh.
Oh. Doug's like, yes, I want my face on the T-shirt. Oh, man. I'll get Chad's Mustang wrapped with Greg's face if I ever win the lottery. Please, yes. Oh, please, yes.
Based on your fuel economy and its state of, let's call it, repair, you're not catching me.
Oh, man. I like Doug's idea. Make sunshades for the windshield and the 3 versions of me. That's good. Hunter says slap a couple of refrigerator magnets from the Polestar license plate douche.
I mean,
oh man, I like it.
Or, I mean, it is a sticker. Just saying. It is a sticker.
Yeah, Chad literally made this. Chad took time out of his busy day to make this. Let that sink in.
I think it's epic. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it's funny because I didn't have a beard until I got married. So I like to think of myself with this goatee from college as Bizarro Gregson, because this was back when I thought goatees were really cool. So I basically looked like this. Or hang on. Like this was me here with the goatee, so this is what I look like with a goatee. It looks stupid. I look horrible. The beard is where it's at. Beard or nothing. This goatee was a really ill-advised time of my life. And I think that it makes it even better that I just have the goatee in these photos. Because it looks so stupid and so douchey.
Yes, it does.
It's so bad. Doug, oh man, Greg took time out of his day to have those pictures taken to get with a girl he didn't. That's accurate.
Oh, man.
That is accurate. True words have never been spoken.
Hold on 1 second. I want to see if I can find something real quick. Greg, hold.
Okay. So, also chat hold because I'm texting my wife. So give me 1 second as well. All right, and we're back. So, Greg Ledouche merch, yes. And since I am French, that works perfectly. And please don't hold my Frenchness against me. I can say croissant correctly, which is quite lovely. Today, I went to get a croissant. Croissant. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but it's the funniest thing I've ever seen recently. Dude, I think I'm excited for Carlisle just because if the banter is anything like this stream and this chat, it's going to be an utterly hilarious 2 days. Especially with you guys walking around with my face on your shirts and everyone's going to be looking at them going, what in the holy hell are these people wearing? And you're just going to be like, it's Greg Ledouche. And that's how you're going to answer it. Just how Steve did. Oh, man. Justin, go beard or go home. Damn right. Full beard. That's where it's at. I am a little Irish, actually, Steve. I'm technically 4 quarters, but I don't know what the third or the fourth quarter is. So I just say I'm half French. So I'm half French, a quarter Slovak, and a quarter Irish because on my my mom's side, it is Cost and Quinn are the 2 names. So Cost being Slovak side, Quinn being the Irish side. Quinn, very Irish name. So yeah, so I'm a quarter Irish and a quarter Slovak from that side of my family. And then my dad was actually born in Paris, which is cool. And then he moved to the UK for a little while and then immigrated when he was like 13 to New York. And then lived in Long Island for a long time. But I'm like half French and then a quarter Slovak, quarter Irish. So I am Irish. I'm a little Irish with you. Did Doug ask that or did Steve ask that? Oh, no. No, they're just chatting. I'm 12.5% Irish, if that helps. It totally helps. Being Irish is great, which is why you should drink Irish juice. It's quite lovely and wonderful. Justin, I'm Swedish, Irish, and Scottish. I mean, you should own a Volvo. If you're Swedish, get in touch with your heritage, man. Or get a Koenigsegg if you get lottery money. I just hear, oh God. I hear Chad crafting?
No.
Well, markers and
we
paper?
talked about like embarrassing pictures on the stream, and
oh God, are you rifling through things?
I might.
Are you looking for the wings picture?
Yes. No.
Oh, I could bring. It's on my Facebook profile. Did you not find it?
No, I think you actually deleted it successfully this time.
Oh no, I never deleted that because I love that picture. That's the one embarrassing picture from college I think is hilarious because it's just me covered in wing sauce, which is really funny. Oh no, I swear that picture is definitely still on my Facebook. Unless the person that posted it took it down, which may have been Keith. I'm not entirely sure.
Distinctly possible.
Let me see. Photos. I'm going to my own Facebook profile to figure this out. My albums. Let's see.
But I got a doozy for me. There's one other picture I wanted to find.
Oh, it is gone. Oh, that's weird.
Oh my god.
Oh god, I should delete these. These are terrible. Oh, holy crap.
Yep.
Wow, I have not been in this folder in a long time. Big yikes.
Right.
Maybe I won't be Facebook friends with any of you, so you can't see any of these pictures.
Oh
damn. Woof.
Oh, that's not it.
Oh man. I'm back. Anyway, back to late chat.
Yeah, keep talking, Greg.
Yeah. Just in there, quite a few Polestars currently available. Yeah, there's actually a lot of people selling Polestars right now. The Facebook group, there's probably within the last like 2 or 3 weeks, I've seen like 4 or 5 postings of people just being like, yeah, it's time for me to make a change, blah blah blah. Just looking for a different car. I think it's run its course, but there's a lot of personal Polestars out there that are going to be on the market very, very soon. And yes, Hunter, you and I are Facebook friends through the R community, and you have access to all of my photos. So yeah. If any, I mean, my thing now, like my new thing is like if I meet you in person, I'll friend you on Facebook. That's just like a personal thing that I do now over the last like year or two that I've instituted. But once I meet everybody, I'll Facebook friend you. You can look at all my embarrassing old photos. It's totally fine. So Nate had said that there's a lot of Polestars going on, and I think that actually parlayed into Justin. From Justin's comment a little while ago, or a couple minutes ago, said, I want an S60R. S60Rs are very cool. The R range, the S60R and the V70R, I can attest to, are very cool. I own 2 V70Rs. They're awesome. And so are the S60s. I have preference for the wagon because wagons are just cool. Obviously, I like the wagons. Got one back there. But I'll tell you, if I had this, I would own an S60R too, for sure. But it would have to be the right one. It's very, very cool. Hunter, a Koenigsegg is how you turn lottery money into not lottery money. Yeah, but a Koenigsegg is how you turn lottery money into an investment that you can drive. Because that car will do nothing but appreciate. So, yeah, I would. If I hit the lottery, a Koenigsegg would probably be on the list. Maybe a Pagani. Hunter, do you really want an S60R? Spoken like a true R enthusiast. They are a handful for sure. Justin says, "Oh, but I do. I love them since I first laid eyes on one. Good on you. Good job. I think you should get one. They're cool cars." Steve says, "I have 2007 emo pics of myself. Who doesn't? Everyone was emo at some point.
I wasn't.
Was that?
I wasn't. Not even remotely close.
You had long hair coming out of a hat. Whether you like to admit it or not, you had emo.
No, I had a mullet.
Man, emo mullet.
You're.
I'm just trying to force it, man. Trying to make it work. Let's see, Doug. S60R is good value, in my opinion. Everyone goes for the V, understandably so, but a good driver, the S60R is the way to go on a budget. I completely agree with that. If you want to get into the R life, don't buy a V70R. Buy an S60R, because if you don't need the utility, the S60R is just the same car with less space and a sedan. It's the same exact thing. Oh, and also it's lighter, so it's going to be a better performing car. So it's if you want to buy a V70R and you don't have to have a wagon, the S60R is a much better car for that money, because V70Rs, because of the wagon tax, they've gotten so sort of astronomical if they're good. Like, you cannot touch them if they're good for under 20 grand anymore. But you can still get S60Rs for 10 grand that are decent. Really good ones for between 12 and 15. And when you consider the car you're getting, $5,000 to $7,000 of savings is a tremendous amount of money, especially when you consider percentages. So an S60R is a way better proposition than a V70R at this point in time. But if you have to have the wagon, you have to have the wagon. For me, again, it would be the V. I've seen S60. Where'd that message go? I've seen S60 Polestars going for low 20s, and that's intriguing. Yeah, again, because of the wagon tax. So when I picked this up, I paid $35,000 for it over 2 years ago. It was 2 years just in February. So I hit it just before car prices went totally nuts. And quite frankly, I could sell this tomorrow for 35 to 40. It's the same thing. I just clicked over 50,000 miles. It's a reliable engine. That's still in the mileage range where you could sell it and it would be good. So, yeah, I mean, it's the S60 version is a much more palatable buy, and there are versions of it out there between $20,000 to $30,000 with varying mileages, and that's a much more interesting thing than a V60, because you don't, again, if you don't have to have the utility, and it's an even bigger thing in this car because there's less utility in the V60 than there is in the V70R. So because of the way this thing is like sloped, the rear hatch is sloped, you get less space. Like, this does not have the same amount of cargo space at all that the P2 V70 has. So if you don't need the space, the S60 Polestar is a tremendous value, and you can, like, they're underrated from factory, and with just a couple of mods, you're getting like 500 crank torque and 400 horsepower. Like, those are M3 numbers.
No, those are diesel numbers.
I mean, yeah, they are diesel numbers, correct. But, like, in theory, at the strip, you should be able to basically destroy any E46 that's stock or any E9X that's stock, quite frankly, with just a downpipe and a tune. And that's pretty damn good value for money, I gotta say.
Oh, yeah, anything that gets you out of the BMW.
Look, there are certain BMWs that I don't advocate for.
The ones that say B
I like a lot of
or
BMWs
M
because I grew up
or
with
W.
them. The E90 or the E9X version of the E9X car as a whole is a revolutionary platform for BMW, quite frankly. It is tunable in the 6 cylinders with the twin turbo, and it is utterly fantastic in the V8. That has still to this day the only V8 that an M3 ever had. So, with that said, this is still just better value for the money. It really is. And Doug, holy crap, man! 4,000 stars. What are you doing? Stop drinking whiskey.
That's for Steve's Rego.
Thank you for. Oh, dude, see that shit. That's great. Paying for Steve's Carlisle registration. Make sure you drag him out there. That right there is why we do this stream. That is incredibly cool. So thank you, Doug. Thank you for that. And don't worry, Steve's entrance fee will be paid 100% with that donation. Thank you so much. That is, quite frankly, fantastic. It is very, very awesome.
Absolutely.
That's very cool. That's very cool.
You're a real one, Doug.
Yeah.
And because Doug is such a great guy.
Oh no! Can I wait before you put this up? Can I pee first? Because I gotta go really bad.
No.
And I need,
no.
I need to be here for this.
Yes, and
I need to be here for this. And if I laugh too hard, I am literally going to pee my pants.
I think chat wants to see that.
No, I'm not going to stand up and show my pee pants. Stop that.
Then what's the problem?
So, hang on.
It could be Miles Davis.
It's also leaving everyone in suspense. So let them marinate on that for a second. I'll be right back.
Well, Doug, I tried to get you your reward, and, well, But that's cool as hell, man. Yeah, let's get the some love in chat for Doug, the MVP, as someone put it. Justin is the real MVP. Absolutely, that's crazy cool. And from like our perspective, that's really really cool because like I never thought we'd have a community. Never thought we'd have a community that we talk to on the weekly basis. And then I never thought we'd have a community that supports each other like this. That's so beyond cool. Just I have no words. That's so that's cool. That's Oh my goodness, that's one. And Doug said, "No love needed. Folks say how to get more people involved in card culture. Well, getting people involved is how we do it." My man, legend. Where's Greg? Bummer, Christian. Next year, here's hoping to getting you out there. Uh-oh. Okay, good. Sorry, the Twitch stream was being the strange, but
okay, go.
I like how you have this sense of dread and you have no idea, like none.
Oh God,
none.
Wait, is it the wings? Is it the wings picture?
No, but I'm almost positive
no.
I have an almost equally embarrassing picture of you somewhere in the pile of pictures up in my my other desk. But no, this is because
man.
Doug is a legend. Justin.
Oh, now Justin is also a legend. Look at that.
Justin also wanting to support anyone else who's a part of the community. Come to Carlisle.
Yes, if you want to come to Carlisle and you are not, you can't pay for it. We have funding for you, so please come out. We want you to come. We want you to come, hang out. It's going to be awesome. Chad's going. I'm going. Doug will for sure be there. Justin's going. We got to get everyone there. So like, you guys are amazing. Thank you for setting that. That's utterly fantastic.
So, because everyone
and as a reward, Chad has something to show you. Apparently,
yes, because you guys are awesome. Because Greg was a champ last week with the with the shirts, the merch, the everything. And everything. I felt, you know what? I showed you the picture of me in college, but that was just, let's face it, I'm a Chad. I'm an Alpha Chad, a Giga Chad, whatever you want to call it. Like, that's just Chad's being Chad. Let me paint you a picture for this one. And Greg will eventually realize what it is. And when he starts making, you know, like, I think it's the sound of like a CV joint, like when he starts giggling at that high pitch. Pretty much. The year is 2002. It is towards the end of our senior year in high school. So you know what that means for high schoolers. Ladies and gentlemen, members of chat, esteemed 3 people currently watching on YouTube.
I think I know what this is. Is it lots of white?
I don't think this could possibly be any whiter.
Yes, I think I know exactly what this is.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. Because
all of you,
if it's what I'm thinking, everyone needs to put on sunglasses immediately.
I give you Chad Prom.
Yes! Yes!
And it,
so good! Oh my god, it's the best tuxedo ever!
yeah.
Oh man.
And it doesn't really...
It's so good. I could cry. It's so good. Look at that fucking guy.
And unlike, I will say this. I thought I was shit. Like, I ain't gonna lie. You can't really see it in this picture. It didn't really come through. But yes, frosted tips.
Dude, of course you thought you were the shit. One, look at your face. And two, look at what you're wearing. You're just like, oh yeah.
But
this is going to pull all of the numbers.
But just unlike Greg's embarrassing photo, that was just Greg by himself and then continued to be by himself. Boom. What up?
Yes. I would like to congratulate you on the date.
And because
I would also like to draw attention to your face.
Oh, I can't photo. You would think someone who's actually a content creator, I do not photograph well, ever. But like, here's one where you can kind of see blonde. Like, here's a halfway decent picture with our Greg and I's buddy Eric. Eric was the best man at your wedding, right?
Yes, Eric was the best man at my wedding. Yes.
So.
Oh man.
Yes, Hunter. There was a lot of product in that hair, because I had a calic back then, so my hair wanted to just point in one direction. So.
I think Andrew was just inadvertently hilarious. He just goes, "Who is that guy?" Oh my god. That's amazing. By the way, we can see the metrics on screen.
Don't look at our horrible stats.
There we go. Holy crap. This is something else. This is utterly fantastic. Whoa. Look at that fucking guy.
Steve wants this merched. Vanellis called. He wants you to go on tour with him.
Oh my god.
I mean, of all the jokes you could make, Vanilla Ice is the one. Like, hello. This was the decade of the boy band. Oh
yeah, this is like right around like peak Backstreet Boys in sync. So like all this stuff, like if Steve Harvey walked out in this suit today, it would be totally normal. Steve Harvey has perfect suit taste. And this is a very good Steve Harvey suit. It is not a good Chad suit. For sure.
Doug goes, Greg's married,
yes,
though, right?
It is my turn to merch Chad, 100%. Yes.
Go Photoshop. Oh, wait.
Oh, no, I will not be Photoshopping. I will be doing something way better. Oh, man.
Well, just wait. The fathead of you is coming soon.
Yes, the big wall cling. That's what everyone needs.
Doug goes, Greg is married, though, right? Chad, how's that going? I mean, when you look like this, man, you don't have to worry about it. Just say.
That's right. I was going to say. Yeah.
But.
Oh, man.
Let me see if I can open. There's, I figured you'd get a kick out of it. There's more.
That is utterly fantastic. I like Justin. Vanilla Ice called, wants you to go on tour.
But like,
oh man,
there's that was like just gold.
That's so
I
good.
went up.
I'll be honest though, like we got to find my prom picture because it was definitely more subdued than an all-white suit.
Oh my god!
Because I also had bleach blonde hair because I was in a band in high school.
Oh my god!
And I thought, being bleach blonde by dunking my head in a vat of bleach was a great idea. It was not.
I forgot about this. They're gonna love this one.
Oh God, no more. I can't deal. Is it you or me?
Yes.
it's both. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, let me hold on. I have.
So was it a baseball photo though? Because we didn't have a lot of pictures together in high school.
No, this is actually mid college, I think.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Steve, Shifting Lanes merch is just gonna be Greg and Chad. Yep.
Hey, what works? What works?
That's right.
Look,
you are the guys that want to put our faces on your chests. That's on you. It has nothing to do with us.
Oh my God, they're definitely gonna want this on a shirt.
Oh God. No, this wasn't college. This is after college. This is on the. This is on a cruise.
No, this was the cruise. I was thinking Vegas because the first time we went to Vegas, we were still in college. This was well after college.
Yeah. No, this was definitely on a cruise. At some point.
Look at.
We were on we were in the discotheque, whatever how they called it.
Oh yeah.
And was this the cruise where Keith and Blake made the picture of them lying on top of each other?
Maybe.
Oh, that's a great picture.
I want to make that into shirts and just like randomly like at the next barbecue we go to and they're both there just be wearing that on a shirt.
Yes, because Blake lives in New Jersey now, which is the best part.
Blake lives in Jersey?
Yeah, he's here now
at this point, but like I had no idea.
No, it's just us talking.
Where in Jersey?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could do
that. So he flies for United now, and actually he and Kriston just. So for those in the chat that don't know, we had a whole West Coast crew of friends that basically
lived in Utah. Right on the ocean.
Yeah, in Utah. So one of my oldest childhood friends, Kriston, his name is Kriston. He was like one of my best friends since like first grade. You know, I've always stayed in touch throughout the years. And he moved out to Utah for a while and got a whole crew of friends out there. And we were just like, let's just meet up in Vegas. So we brought the whole New Jersey crew, which was like me, Chad, and a bunch of our friends. We went out to Vegas, and he brought the whole Utah crew. So it was him, Blake, who we call West Coast Greg, because basically we're the same person. And we all met up in Vegas, had a blast, and we all became like really fast friends. So fast forward to like present day, Kriston is a pilot for United. So if you're ever on a United flight and hear, "Hi, this is your pilot, Kriston Horseman," that's my friend and our friend that we've been friends with since grade school. But his friend Blake, which I just mentioned, he didn't get his pilot's license until way later, but now flies for United. And they actually just flew a flight together for the first time, which is very cool, at United, which is really kind of interesting and neat. So, but yeah, Blake lives in New Jersey, old Utah crewer, now lives in New Jersey with us, and works for United along with Kriston, which is very cool. So that's that whole story. But that cruise, that picture was a New Jersey crew and Utah crew coming together and just drinking and having a lot of fun. Oh man.
Memories.
That V-dub, where's that coming from? Oh, YouTube. What's up, that V-dub? Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. And just a comment I wanted to comment on from YouTube, Andrew Pastorelli. Not DC Andrew Pastorelli. Gonna be honest, I hope you don't take any disrespect to this, but I never realized how low a sub count you guys had. Never really looked and just assumed with the content and schedule, you'd be around 60 to 100K subs min. Well, we do actually on our main channel. So Shifting Lanes Garage is sort of like our side passion project, if you will. But we're giving it equivalent like billing essentially. So Shifting Lanes Garage is sort of the channel where we do all of our personal cars now because we've separated that out. We have our main channel, which is just Shifting Lanes, which has I think over 83,000 subs now. And we started out as sort of this conglomeration of both review videos and personal projects and things like that. But the way YouTube kind of works, it penalizes you for having multiple different genres on the same channel. I don't know. It's weird. It does now and it doesn't. It's just strange. So we just decided to separate it out. So we created this second channel, Shifting Things Garage, for our personal stuff. And the main channel is for reviews only, essentially. So this, you could kind of count them together, if you will, because they're under the same account on YouTube. So to combine, we have over like 80,000 subs. So that's sort of why, it seems like a little bit higher quality of content than your typical 2,000 sub YouTube channel, is because we've been doing it since 2017. So we've been doing it for like 6 years. So that's why. And also to that V-Dub, thank you again for joining and chatting. Thoughts on the B9 S5? Got an Audi fan in here. I think it's the first Audi fan we've had on stream. It's good, is my answer to that. S5s are big old thumbs up. Love the S5. Beautiful car. And I believe, don't quote me on this because I need to look it up. Please, someone fact check me. The person that penned or sketched that car also sketched the Lamborghini Gallardo and said that the S5 was the most beautiful car he ever drew, which I don't agree with. But the S5 is a very good looking car. B9 S5, excellent car. Love it. Do want that car. It's very cool.
Yes.
Yes. Chad's answer.
No, I mean, I'm a big fan of, I don't know generations of Audis, so please don't slaughter me on this. I know asking the internet not to do that is taking one's life into their own hands. But I know those originally came with the 4.2, and that 4.2 is an all-timer as far as engines are concerned.
Yes. Everything else around it failed, but that engine is fantastic.
Yes. Just redo all of the wiring.
Yes. Oh, Hunter, I meant on YouTube. Sorry. I know you own an Audi. Hunter's on Facebook. That one came from YouTube. Hunter owns an Audi as well. So not the first Audi person on stream as a whole, first Audi person on stream on YouTube.
I don't know. I think we have to merch Doug now.
Yes. Oh, we definitely should merch Doug. Please, yes.
I'm like, do I hit the transition button or not right now? That's what's going through my head.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Also, who else is drinking juice? Because I've seen several of you saying, "Oh, the damn whiskey. Oh, a little drunk right now." Who else is on the juice?
I mean,
other than me.
Steroids? Clearly.
Everyone? No, not McGuire. Get out of here. Get out of here, A-Rod. Oh, no worries, Andrew Pastorelli. All good. Second channel. That's why we're here. We're here doing the fun stuff. But yeah, I think that I don't know. We're trying to make this as big as the main channel. So I'm hoping that over the next year or two, we can get a project on channel or just some fun cars to own that we build into something that is a lot bigger, and we can grow both the main channel and the side channel at the same time. Be very cool.
Yeah, like you said, us doing this type of content, us doing the project car content, all that other sort of stuff, wouldn't play nice with the reviews on the main channel. So we decided to start a second channel. I think we're kind of finding our way on it because it's just a dumpster. I shouldn't say a dumpster. That's a really bad analogy. But it's kind of
it's a dumpster fire.
It's like a lot of channels. Second channel, which by which I mean it's where we throw everything that doesn't go on the main. Like the main is the breadwinner. The main is hyper focused, hyper niche, and everything else goes here. That's why you see car news. You see these streams. We did a fucking thing on food not that long ago. Like our project cars, all the other stuff. But like we tried the stream highlight thing for a while. We're probably going to put like the highlights there. Like if there's a good topic or if like Greg or I have like a big announcements with the cars. Shifting Lanes Garage is like Empire Strikes Back. Clearly better. I mean, look,
yes.
I have way more fun doing this than I ever did doing any of the consumer stuff. Because Greg will tell you this. I'm a little too blunt at times when it comes to my reviews.
No.
If you ever want to see a example of that, the Nissan Armada review we did where I tear that car a new one. Because I'm like, there's nothing about this car I like. And then it's like, to be a good reviewer, you have to be honest. But to be a good reviewer, you have to choose your honesty. You obviously can tell when we really like a car. And there's other times where it's like, hey, does it have a redeeming feature? No?
Yeah.
Shoot. But
I don't know. For me, like, so there's a big like to do on the internet a couple of years ago with some people in the review sphere basically saying like, I don't have a car. I just use all of my review cars that I get through these press associations and fleet companies and what have you to say, I don't need a car. I basically just use that as my daily transportation. So the whole rub there was they don't say negative things about these cars, so they keep getting cars, so they don't have to like, you know, have this uncomfortable conversation with an OEM saying, hey, I'm going to give you a bad review. But to me, there's a balance there, right? Like, obviously you don't want to piss off the OEMs so they can keep it in cars, but you also want to be honest. Like, I am in the firm camp that every single car has at least one redeeming quality. Every car that's ever been produced has at least one redeeming quality. And I will, that's a hill I will die on for sure. Even Ladas and Yugos and BMW Isettas, like some of the worst cars ever made, they all have a redeeming quality for sure. So with that said, if the OEM knows their car, then they won't be that perturbed by you saying, oh, the Nissan Sentra isn't the best compact car, but hey, it's really good for the price point. Like, so that they get that. And as long as you have that mentality coming in when you're doing a car review, then you will continue to get cars, but you'll also be honest with the audience. Like the Nissan Versa is a very good packaged car. Doug says Nissan Versa, go. Like, it's the same thing with the Toyota Prius. Like, a lot of people hate on the Prius because of its hybridness and it's like
terrible car.
The people that buy it. It's actually not a terrible car. At least, so my wife had a Prius. I forget what gen it is, honestly. It's the one that was like the annoying egg-shaped one with the like 15-inch wheels. Not the sedan version, but like the one right after the sedan version before it got like super, super popular, like right on that upslope of popularity, right? The one that was used in the South Park episode, I think. And quite frankly, it was a terrible car. It was underpowered. It didn't have cruise control. It felt unsafe a little bit because the doors just felt tinny. However, the car was and still is a packaging marvel in the same way that the Honda Fit is, that you could get way more crap in there than you rightfully should. With the back seats down, that generation of Prius fit like giant armoires in it. And I have no idea that to this day how they fit. It's unbelievable. Same thing with the Nissan Versa. And that's the whole reason I told that story. The Nissan Versa is by and large a terrible car. It is underpowered. It's got a CVT. It's just gross. It's ugly. It's not good. The technology is out of date, but it is packaged very well. If you need a car that's cheap, that isn't going to break constantly, and has a decent amount of reliability that you can fit stuff in, the Nissan Versa is actually quite a good car, because if you need the space and you don't have to live, you know, with insane amounts of room from like wood, the Nissan Versa is a good car because it's cheap. Again, it's decently reliable and you can fit shit in it, plain and simple. Like some sort of redeeming quality, and that's just how it works. Period. Like, in my mind.
Yes. Not the Armada.
The Armada has a lot of space. That's the Armada's redeeming quality.
Yeah, it goes back
You
to a
can
lot
fit
of
an
this.
entire band.
You know, like you were saying, you know, every car has a redeeming feature. Every like you have to find the good.
Yeah. Be right back. I have to go check on my kids.
Godspeed. You know, every car has something good about it. I don't know. For me, a lot of it was where I wasn't gonna compromise. Like I didn't play the game very well. Like, look, I didn't like the car. It had more space than everyone else. Blah 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 blah. But that doesn't offset the fact that, okay, it has good cargo space. We'll use the Armada as an example. It has good cargo space, but the ride was terrible. The seats were uncomfortable. The engine's actually probably the best part about it, and I could go on and on and on about the... You're going to slaughter me. I think it's a VK56. I'd have to look. But, yeah, I think it's one of those. Which those engines, those actual 5.6 liter V8 Nissan engines with some headwork, i.e. cams, springs, retainers, port polish, those are crazy awesome engines. You could squeeze a lot of power out of them, and they're pretty inexpensive because nobody here really knows kind of what they are. It's like the 3UR57 Toyota V8s. You know, you make them breathe a little better, you make them rev a little bit better, and all of a sudden you got a world beater of a car. Hunter goes, but a V70R is still a better option. Prove me wrong. I mean, it is until it isn't. If you kind of catch the gist. You know, new for new, it probably was a much, much, much better vehicle. But in, you know, old cars have old car stuff. Doug goes, I love shitty cars, but some cars are just shit. Edit is as needed. No, man, I completely agree. I think the biggest respect you can pay an auto manufacturer, if you're in our space, for example, anywho, the biggest respect you can pay them is to be brutally honest about their product. Obviously, they do not want you to slam their vehicle. Obviously, they want a positive review, or they want like the good of the car kind of shown. But if everybody panders or patronizes, vehicles ain't going to get better. And let's face it, Nissan products in general are old. They're good cars. They're just old. The engine's old. The chassis, old. The infotainment stuff, old. It's all been around. I mean, I'm almost 40. Of course I am. I mean, look at my beard. Where is it? Look at my beard. There's Greg. I call that little Greg. And like you can see it in the side, like here. You know, it's just if you can't be honest.
See my beard. It's just nothing but gray.
If you can't be honest about certain stuff, to me, there's no point in doing it. All right. If I have to sit here and say, well, it's got good cargo space, it has 4 wheels and engine, and they spin without the aid of a horse. it's not a me. It's hard for me to do that.
Yeah.
Which is why like we kind of came up with how to best divvy the responsibilities of shifting lanes. And once we did that, it kind of took off. Oh, you're following us on Twitch. I guess I have to go and
Yeah, I wanted to see what the follow thing looked like. It's a jumping dinosaur. My kids would love that. That's great.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty fucking.
I take it. I say leave the dinosaur. I'm a fan of that. That's cool. Yes, I'm following myself on Twitch now.
I should have looked into that.
Well, that's sort of why I did it, because we're like, how many hours in now? We're 2 hours and 10 minutes in. Only the real ones are still around.
The realest of the real.
They deserve to see the OG Twitch follower.
That's so weird that it did that. Oh well. I honestly thought I had a I honestly thought I had universal alerts, but
oh, okay. Well, we'll get it for next time.
There's always another fish.
That's right.
Hold on, I'm working on something here that again should have been done hours ago, but
it's another picture of Chad.
No, this one's actually. I think Chad will like this one. There we go. And blam!
Ooh. Donations ticker. I like it.
I'm streaming
See? We can do finance advice. We got a finance ticker. It's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, don't take any of our financial advice, please.
No, do not. Do not take financial advice from us.
I'm
literally sitting in my garage streaming.
Yeah.
That should tell you all you need to know.
Now it looks like I have a problem. As if the 85,999 stars on the bottom wasn't enough.
Well, to be fair, 4,000 of those are to make sure that Steve gets to Carlisle. Let's be honest. And same thing with Justin. 2,000 of those are also to make sure that Steve comes to Carlisle. So we're good.
Yes.
Also, Doug, you have a problem. It looks like I was just drafted. And with the 100th pick in the Shifting Lanes draft.
It's like before Steve drafts, I'd like to announce a trade. Doug 4000 has been traded to the Buffalo Bills for a player to be named later and draft compensation.
Oh man, Doug with another 100 for my addiction. Thank you, sir. That'll also go to Steve's Carlisle entrance fee. Oh man, this is hysterical. Man, it looks like I was just drafted. It's probably the funniest thing I've seen in weeks. That's great. It looks like I was just drafted. It totally does. That is literally a draft ticker.
Figures it fills the space. I wanted to do it with supporters, but
yeah,
it's not letting me.
Yeah,
insert rage here.
Of course you're loved, Steve. Get out of here.
Yes.
As my mama didn't raise no quitter. Because, yes, another $1 towards Steve's entrance fee. Also, by the way, guys, I think it's like $45 to get to Carlisle, so we're well and clear of that.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Actually, I think it's more. I think it's more than that. I think to like stay over the night, I think it's like $80, which isn't bad. But I think like a day pass is like 40, between 40 and $50. Oh no, Stars Party. Oh, oh, now it wants the Stars Party. Not for the 60,000 stars previously that were sent. Now it wants the Stars Party. 2 hours and 14 minutes in. That makes no sense. So funny when this stuff triggers. I don't get it. Andrew Passarelli, but you have a garage. Very true. I do have a garage, which is quite awesome. Full transparency. It is great. Oh, Andrew, question to you, good sir, over on YouTube. Andrew Pastorelli, do you have plans to put aftermarket wheels on your Polestar? Because that, I think, might be one of my next mods. I do like these. There. Winter wheels. They're OZs. But I'm thinking of selling these and using the OEM ones as winter wheels, and then getting some like good aftermarket wheels for summers.
Did you say spinners?
No, summers. No, not spinners. Sweet Jesus, no. No, I would do like a different summer, like good summer wheels, like Forge kind of thing, or like a cheap set of HREs. Some like good ones that I would actually last. I could maybe like custom do the color. I don't know. Again, it all depends on what's going on with the 245 builds and taxes. So I'm just playing around with it in my mind. Like what I really want to do is roll the fenders and be able to like push them out a little bit more towards the wheel arches, because it's tough to see from this angle, obviously, but you can't put more than 10 millimeter spacers on any of these wheels, because if you do, all of the wheels will rub on literally all of the wheel arches. So what you need to do is you need to modify the wheel arch, cut it and shave it underneath it on the inside, and then roll the fenders. And then you can kind of do whatever you want. So that's what I'm sort of trying to figure out next. Chad, did you know you can fit 550 Maranello wheels on Volvos?
True story.
Can you really? Oh, I know the bolt pattern.
Same bolt pattern. I'm sure it like
5x108.
Yeah. Going to Carlisle, join Facebook page, follows a Carlisle. If you're cool and have a Volvo, damn it. And give Chris a donation for food. It's well worth it. Would he allow me to join?
Yes. No, but don't worry. I have anyone in this chat that is going to Carlisle. I have already donated 2 Volvos at Carlisle for us. And not a humble brag, but I usually give them like $200 every year because they're criminally underpaid for what they do. One, I can use it as a tax write-off because it's a lovely little business expense, but also because they deserve it. Because Chris and Tim, like, they put on a really good show. They make all the food. They have a big tent for us. They coordinate with sponsors that give stuff, like FCP Euro always gives stuff, IPD, Volvo Cars of America. They all give stuff, and they give a whole bunch of like cool things, and they also have a raffle. Like, it's just a good time, honestly, and they put their heart and soul into it. And they're just nice guys. They're nice guys, and they support us. They watch our videos. They tell people about our stuff, and they're just great people. So they honestly deserve it. So I give them a couple $100 every year because it's honestly worth it. It's basic food. It'll keep you fed for the weekend, but it's nothing special. But it's like that food is served to Volvo enthusiasts that come there expecting something to eat, and It's just a good 10. So yeah, rambling, but long story short, it's definitely well worth it to donate to them. They usually just ask for 25 bucks, and I've talked to them about it over the years, and they said, yeah, we usually just break even. So I always try to give them a little bit extra, just because they deserve it, because they put on a great tent and a great show for everyone coming. So it's good. It's really good.
Can we get them to rename themselves FOMOCO at Carlisle?
No. No, very much no.
Doug goes, it's a great group. Buy a $500 Volvo and join. Too easy. Well, what I should have done was join when I had the C30.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The 1 year you're going, you don't have a Volvo.
Was the year
the funniest part?
Yeah, it was the year I sold my Volvo.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. We have an answer on YouTube from Andrew Pastorelli. If I do, I'm ordering custom BC forged wheels. Nice. Good man. Also, the 2016 20s are better looking than the 2017 20s, and it bugs me. Yes, they are. Which, again, also another reason why I wanted the 2016, because those wheels are definitely better than anything 2017 or 2018 had to offer. They have a fat inner lip, and I have 13 millimeter spacers. They only rub on heavy compressions at speeds above 80. Yeah, like I don't even want any compression, because I don't want anything rubbing against my tire when I'm driving. So I definitely want to roll the fenders for that reason. Honestly, he goes, I think you could get away with 13 in the rear if your rear suspension isn't worn. My rear shocks are leaking at 66K miles. Yeah, mine. I don't know if they're worn, but like you can probably see, like this is just stock ride height back here, so it's not the best, but it's not. I don't think it's worn per se. I don't know. Upgraded suspension is definitely in the plans in the next year or two, because I don't want to just throw OEM suspension back on my car. I would love to get KWV3s, because I think the ride compliance is going to be better. Plus, I can get KWV3s and upgraded sway bars and a chassis brace. Or, sorry, not chassis brace, strut tower brace, which would just make the car overall a much better handling car. So I think that's a 2024 thing that I would like to do, should I have the budget for it. Shocks are definitely not the whole picture. Yeah, no, they're not. And when is this meet? So we're talking about Carlisle, Pennsylvania. It's in the middle of Pennsylvania. It's a yearly event. It's called the Carlisle Import and Performance Nationals, which basically means a bunch of people meet in a big field and have a lot of fun. The end. And it's mostly an import show, but you can bring whatever you want. Last year, a Mustang GT500 won the exhaust competition. So
as it should.
Kind of. I mean, it was not stock. Stock, they sound good. This car sounded utterly epic.
Have you
It was
met Ted?
Definitely modified. It was awesome. It was unlike any V8 I've ever heard.
And mine's better.
It was very good. I can wholeheartedly say it is not. The way this thing sounded was ridiculous in the best possible way. Yours sounds very good. Very good. I will say this sounded better. I gotta be honest. It was like, I don't know what he had. If he's there again, it's one of the lighter blues with white stripes. His exhaust tips were like a gold-ish, not like gold, but like maybe like I don't know, almost like a burnt gold or like light copper kind of color. If it's there again, I'll know what the car is. It sounded like I wanted a GT500. And I don't. I want a GT350. But that car made me want a GT500 real bad. It sounded insane. And it should have won that comp, and it did. So, yeah, it should have.
I mean, of course.
And it should.
I mean, there's no reason why it shouldn't have. It's better in. I shouldn't say that. Uh, Doug goes. FOMOCO at Carlisle for the two people that bring Mustangs. Well, yes, and every P2. I think P3s or P1s were part of that. So yeah. And Justin's bringing a Buick.
Yes, that's right.
That'd be pretty cool.
Hey, Performance Nationals doesn't have an import tag to it.
Isn't it?
It's import and performance. And a Buick is performance if you're talking about the 80s.
Oh, the Grand National is.
Yes. 70s, sorry, 70s and 80s.
I guess the Regal GS. If we're going the Wayback Machine for Buick.
Oh, that Regal GS. Yeah, I guess you could.
Well, I mean, the Regal GS was just a fancy Chevelle back in the day.
True.
True.
So I guess, yeah, you can lump it in there. Just what? Is that 60s or 70s?
That'd be late 60s, early 70s, before the...
So, all right.
Before
so we'll say 65 through 85.
Carb, I work 4 weeks on, 4 weeks off. Andrew Pastorelli on YouTube. I'll have to look into it. I want to travel more this year with my car, but I work 4 weeks on, 4 weeks off on an oil rig. So while I have lots of free time, I do miss a lot while I'm gone. Fair enough.
Bummer. All right.
Hey, here's to hoping.
Look,
man.
it's May 12th and 13th. That's the days we'll be there. So if you want, definitely go. It's a good time, and there are thousands of cars. You will not be starved for good car enjoyment. There's tons of stuff. It's Saab's national meet, I found out. So if you're into like cool, quirky stuff, like there are literally hundreds of Saabs there, and they're all cool. They really are. Volvo always has a huge following there. There's always some cool, quirky stuff from like the EU and Great Britain. Like one year, there's a bunch of Citroens that were very, very neat. There's always a bunch of random Jags. There's Subarus everywhere, just because again, import Hondas and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely cool. It's cool. It's worth it. It's worth checking out. It's a great show.
Yeah. Justin asks, should he get a tent and should he get there early in the morning?
Depends on what day you're going. If you're only going on Saturday, yes, get there early. Make sure you're there at 9 or 10. That way you have the whole day and you can hang out the whole day. And plus, if you're in the supporter group, we're going to Doug's for which you are, Steve. We're going to Doug's for a movie that night, which is only like 40 minutes away. So, it'll be like a full day kind of event. So get there early. And then if you want, we're staying over Friday night. So I'll be bringing a tent and sleeping out of the back of my car.
And I'll be waking everyone up.
And Chad will be waking everyone up with his Mustang, yes. But Chad will probably, I would imagine you'll get a hotel.
More than likely.
Just for the night.
We'll have to see how it goes. I'm just not a big... I've fallen right out of favor with camping. This is camping. It's literally just tents in a field. It's not like real camping. I understand that aspect of it. It's just oh, hey, the weather, it exists.
Yeah. Totally.
So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I have no idea, so I'm going to this eyes wide open kind of a deal. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
I've done too few of this type of stuff. So it's cool to build a community and then just to see the community hang out. I'd be interested to see how many people just walk up and are mad that I sold my car, the C30, but at the end of the day,
I imagine you'll get at least 2 or 3.
At the end of the day,
at least.
It's like, look, I sold the C30 so I could put more power than a C30 makes into another car.
Do you see that big spoolie boy in my engine?
Yeah.
That's my C30 now.
Drag radials in the rain. Yeah, Justin. Might I? Yikes.
Yeah, that does not sound like a good time.
I've been seeing more and more and more skinny like drag pack wheel setups coming through like Facebook Marketplace and stuff recently, and I'm like,
No, no, don't look at those.
no.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
I mean, eventually I'm gonna need them.
I
'Cause,
mean, yeah.
um, I just looked over and my YouTube section is so far behind. It's now the Gregson is now following Dancing Dinosaur.
Oh man, that'll catch up soon.
Justin, don't do it. Go on. Uh, I mean, it's just
Oh, and Andrew over on YouTube. If you do go, there's usually a bunch of Polestars there. Last year we had like 3 or 4 of them, which is cool. So it's like a mini Polestar meet.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, there's one guy there. I want to say his name's Paul. I always forget his name.
Steve,
But he has
George,
no. I think his name is Paul.
Ignacio.
He was there with his whole family. He has an XC90, and he has a newer V60 Polestar, which is cool. And he also has an S60 Polestar for his. I think his daughter drives that one. So he's like his son drives one, he drives one. His daughter drives one, his son drives one, he drives one, and his wife drives one. They all 4 of them have Volvos. And they're all like cool. So I think there's an XC90, an XC60, a V60 Polestar, and an S60 P3 Polestar. So yeah, it's pretty cool. He always brings them out, so it's nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty dang excited.
Yeah, it'll be a good show because we get to see you guys anyway. So
Yeah, cool. Go see cool stuff. I mean,
yeah.
bring batteries for days for vlogging.
Yeah. Oh, Andrew Pastorelli is in Maine. Nice. I have family in Maine and visit there every single year. Where in Maine are you, sir? Because now I'm very interested. Yeah, I'm very interested. Maine is awesome. I have family in and around Yarmouth, and where else? Portsmouth, New Hampshire, which is just outside of Maine. In and around Yarmouth, in York. I think that's it. But yeah, Maine's great. I'll be up there in August this year. Maybe we'll do a mini meet.
Fun fact.
Oh, Kennebunk, nice. Kennebunk's great. Love Kennebunk and Kennebunk Port. Both very, very cool.
You're just making up words.
It's Maine. They all sound like made-up words. Yes.
And he goes, however, did see a C30 Polestar in Maine 2 weeks ago, but S60 wise, it's been years. Justin piggybacks on it. Buddy drag pack on his 19 Mustang, and it made it not fun to drive. The curvature of the road would pull the front end all over the place because of the skinny tire. Go with a slightly staggered setup. Any track tire or any drag specific tire I would put on, or wheel and tire setup I would put on my car would get put on at the track. Number one, bias plies.
Yeah.
Not going to do it on the road. And like you said, those skinny little tires. I haven't decided yet. I got to get to the track and see. But the long and short of it is that radials kill manual transmissions, from what I hear. There's just no give in them. They're just grip, and then they shock the driveline. So while we did design the driveline to fail at a certain point in the Mustang, I'd rather try to prevent that from happening. Apparently there's this Sonny guy on Twitch who's drunk. Anywho.
Wait, we have a Twitch commenter?
Yeah, it was you.
Yes. Oh, Sonny. I get it. Poop.
Justin, thanks you for saying Portsmouth correctly.
Yeah. Also, I was gonna mention that like the word Portsmouth. Does do people call it Portsmouth? Because if I looked at that word as an English-speaking human, I would imagine that's pronounced Portsmouth. I don't. Who is pronouncing it differently than that? What other pronunciations have you said or heard? I guess is the better question there.
I like to go with
now I'm curious.
Yorksmith.
Portsmouth. Like, they do? People call it Portsmouth? Oh God, Portsmouth sounds almost as bad as moist. That's just a horrible word.
I'm docking in the moist Portsmouth.
Oh God! Oh, I just vomited internally.
Now he's got another New England
mouth.
All I'm reading there is lobster, lobster, lobster.
Yes. Lobster, lobster, lobster is how you pronounce all of those things.
I think it was Dr. Zoidberg.
Stratham, Wyndham, and Henniker. Those are those words. That's how those are pronounced. Stratham, Wyndham, and Henniker. The end.
Honestly, I thought he just threw in like Stradman in there just to try to throw you off.
The Stradman. just to throw me off.
Oh my goodness. Is that?
Oh man. Justin isn't wrong though. A lot of New England things are pronounced and spelled strangely.
Well, remember the Brits spelt them.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's mostly like British stuff. Like the best one I can think of is Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It's Lancaster. How do you pronounce that? Most people say Lancaster. It's not Lancaster. It's Lancaster.
Intercourse.
And Intercourse. Worst name for a town ever. Justin. Yeah, Stratham is Stratum. You're right. It is. So it is, of course, sort of like Stradman.
Told you.
But the other one is Worcester, Mass. It's like, but it's spelled Worcester. But it's pronounced Worcester, like Worcestershire sauce. It's not Worcestershire sauce or whatever the hell it's called. It's Worcester, like Worcester. I don't know. It's Worcester, Mass.
It will forever now be Worcester.
War chest. Yeah. We've got Hell, Michigan. Hunter says that's a name. That's a name of a town.
How about this?
Oh, God.
Maine.
We've gone far away from cars, and now we're just naming towns at this point.
Justin's favorite game. Hey, chat, for a small donation to Justin, you too can play the Name These Maine Towns.
Oh, man.
Act now, we'll throw in the electroshock device that will shock you every time you get Cocholate wrong. There's not even an L in it.
Yeah, I was going to say cloaca.
Or like Cooch. Is that literally like Cooch irritate? She was unclean.
My guess is it's something. Look, if it's actually it's a Massachusetts town, of course it is. My guess is, oh man, Cochute is my guess. I don't know. I really don't know. Phonetically put it in chat because I have no idea on that one. That one's tough.
It's actually pronounced North.
Oh, hang on. I have one from New Jersey. So, who thinks they know how to pronounce what I just put in chat?
Oh, it's off the
chat. I will give you the first go.
Chesapeake.
Oh, damn it! You live in New Jersey.
It's the first rest stop on, what is it, the Turnpike or the Parkway?
I know. It's literally spelled Cheesequake, which is a blizzard from Dairy Queen.
Right.
And everyone says Cheesequake. I've literally never heard anyone say Chesapeake ever.
You gotta remember, I live I work right next to the Musconetcong.
I know.
We live near Hapakong, Lenape, like.
I know. It's literally every Native American name you can humanly think of because they all came from the East Coast and then migrated westward. But yeah, the Cheesequake fucking rest area where there's no Dairy Queen.
It's
that's why
it's
called
Cheesequake.
Yeah, it is. It's now called the John Bon Jovi rest area. It's no longer the Chesapeake rest area. They renamed it. They got rid of the Native American thing and called it the John Bon Jovi one. Horrible. Oh, Justin, that's an easy one. That's Gloucester.
Cape Pond Ice.
Anyone that pronounces it differently is fucking wrong. Anyone that says Gloucester is incorrect.
Gloucest? Is that what like two people?
It's Gloucester.
Is it Gloucest when two people from Gloucester fall in love?
That might be one of the funniest things you've ever said. That's good. It's Gloucest. It is most certainly that, Justin. Don't you come at me with your New England pronunciations. It's Gloucester. Fuck off. It is not Gloucester or Gloucester. Either one of those things.
I'll be getting on the hot tuna. Thank you very much. Possibly hard merchandise.
What's that?
I'm just naming wicked tuna boats.
Andrew on YouTube goes, no, it's Gloucester. Because hey, we do have another New Englander. It's a Mainer, so he may know better. Gloucester, yeah, Gloucester. It is Gloucester. It is pronounced. Oh, I guess he's phonetically Gloucester. No, it's Gloucester. It is not Gloucester. I've never heard ever
Gloucester?
Anyone pronounce it Gloucester. No way. My main relatives say Gloucester.
Yeah, but weren't they from Seattle?
That's the way I was taught to pronounce it.
Weren't they from Seattle?
No. My aunt is in Seattle. I have a whole side of the family that's in New England.
It's gonna like boot up Disney Plus and make chat watch like several hours until one of the fishermen says it. Someone
in your main relatives are wrong. No, they are not. They are correct because they are my family, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Gloucester. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it is Gloucester. I don't remember.
It's Gloucester Quake.
I am 3 juices deep, and one of those juices may be a 9%er. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm saying anymore.
Shut up, you 1%er.
I'm not a 1%er. I'm a 9%er.
Did you know that when your kids write letters to Santa, they all, from all over the world, go to a small town of Santa Claus, Indiana?
Yes, I did know that.
Not a clue.
Yep. My kids also don't write letters to Santa. They just leave a carrot and a cookie out. The end.
A what?
Yeah, so we have a little... So how yuppie white families have like a cheese board kind of thing? So we have a little we have a little wooden board that we got on Etsy, and it's for Santa and his reindeer. And we leave a cookie out for Santa. There's like it's like wood burning, so they made like a little thing. So they burned in a place for a cookie, they burned in a place for a carrot for the reindeer, and they burned in a place for the milk. So we leave a cookie and milk, and we also leave a little carrot for the reindeer.
I gotta find it.
See you later, Steve. We'll catch you next week, man. Yeah, we've been on a long time tonight.
Yeah,
we'll catch you another time. And on that note, I'll be right back.
Hold on. Now I gotta find this. Come on, where is it? Here we go. So to those of you who kind of know my background, save images. Well, maybe some of you guys in chat actually might not know this. I played baseball most of my life, including into and through college. But that's why this will make sense for you guys. Doug goes, we used to leave feed out for the reindeer, but skunks would go after it, so we'd shoot them and the reindeer could still get their food. Nice. But as a baseball player, we did, we leave sunflower seeds and Gatorade and maybe some year a bag of Big League Chew, which to me is one of the all-time funniest things because it's just like the old candy cigarettes. It's same thing as like a big old bag of Red Man. Kids can pretend to be their favorite tobacco chawing major leaguer, but a simpler time, so to speak. What? Justin's got another one more AYER. Yar. He's Pirate Cove in Maine. I was told one year that Santa wanted beer instead of milk. I mean, if you had to work on Christmas Eve, wouldn't you want a drink? But I don't know. I don't think we can get. I don't think we can get Santa in. Mention Santa DUI checkpoint. My brain. Yes, I did, Hunter. To those of you who watch this stream from the beginning, know I'm dog crap with pronunciations when it comes to like names and things of that nature. Oh, it's just pronounced air. Awesome. New England, don't ever change, you crazy bastards.
AR. I was going to say you're part pirate.
Isn't that?
Did you just do Howard Dean from
Chappelle Show?
Oh my god, that's old school.
Doug.
Anyway, we've been on for almost 3 hours. It's time to go bye-bye.
I don't disagree. I'm the only one, but that was hilarious. Yeah, I think that's Mark, y'all dorks are still on. Not for long, but yes.
We're always on, Mark. We are omniscient on the internet. Oh man. Justin, stop throwing out New England names. Jesus Christ. Haverhill, Leicester, and
Leominster.
Lawminster. Those are my guesses. I'm fairly certain Haverhill and Leicester are pretty close. Doug Carlisle, Carl Lizzle.
And on that note, I'll see you boys in Carl Lizzle.
Yeah, no, Mark threw out the one that I threw out was Worcestershire, which is what everyone says, but it's Worcester. 0 for 3. God damn it!
You are taking this way personal for.
I'm not taking it personal. I'm just like I just kind of want to get them right, but I can't. I don't know.
You're talking about a group of people who adds unnecessary H's to things.
That is all of New England is adding unnecessary H's to things. 100% accurate.
Listen, if you live in Northwest New Jersey, you don't have an accent. Everyone else is pronouncing it wrong.
Yes.
His main
Andrew over on YouTube. Thanks so much for joining, dude. Appreciate it. We are here literally every week. Usually Mondays at 8:15. We knocked it back 15 minutes just because my kids are going to bed later and later, and it's harder and harder to set up on time. So 8:15 Eastern time, we're usually on. So please join us again next week. We'll be on just chatting random stupid car shit constantly. So we'll have more fun car things to talk to you about next week. Hopefully
Greg just froze.
On stream again, so you can laugh at my hilarity.
Yeah. So, on that note, guys, it's been real. I love the fact that like we have a topic now and just sort of hang out.
I like that too. It's good. It's more chill that way.
So, oh hell yeah, it makes the time go by a little quicker. Not that the time is long,
Yeah.
but like, you know, when you're sitting here and you're talking about, and it's like, all right, how much more do I have to talk about this stupid electric car?
Yeah.
I got to get
yeah.
at least 12
And-
minutes out of this so I can have a fucking YouTube video out of it. Damn it.
Right. And meanwhile, we've been on for 3 hours, and 2 hours and 30 minutes of it have been just like chilling, chatting.
Yeah. So, I mean, good on you guys. But for tonight,
Yes.
that's going to be a wrap. I'm always Chad most of the time. That's Greg. Hey,
I'm on your shirt.
to everyone who donated today, to everyone who commented, shared, all that stuff, thank you. Shifting lanes and
Yes.
chill, Doug, you got it
Legends, all
right.
of you.
But we'll catch you guys next week, and enjoy the week, fellas.